yo. Okay, there we go.
What's wrong?
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we are live on a Saturday morning, ready to do some feedback. That's right. You guys left comments about things for the last 2 weeks, and we are going to reply back to them. That's what we do here.
That's what we do.
The official weapon of the show is
phone chair.
And the unofficial sport.
Bullet ball.
And bullet ball extreme. And let's just start with the feedback. You know, we got 5-star reviews. We got comments. We got votes in the polls. We got people that took the time out of their busy schedule and their, piggy banks to bless us with some coin, with some bread.
We thankful.
So we want to shout them out. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and start with them first.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's own Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tithe to the Black Guy Who Tips.
Today's a new day.
That's right. New bread, go ahead.
That's hilarious.
Chris from Hawaii, Corey the Tickler, April G, Alexis H, Wanga from Down Under, good day mate, Marlon B, yes, Marlon B, Tiffany B, Walter B. I've never seen the B's come through like this at the same time.
The B's is representing
The B family is in the house. Yetunde R, David C, James C, Jasmine J, Kyle K, that's interesting, JJKK, just kidding, Dr. Professor Bambi, Jason F, Kimberly aka the Falcons Diva, Ken M, Lawrence C, and lastly Christoph R. That's everybody that donated to the show this week. Thank you so much for the money. Will we get commercials or will we get 5-star reviews? The correct answer is we kind of got a new 5-star review. Someone updated their old 5-star review.
We'll take update.
Yes, it's HR Paper Stacks, but they got a sad face as the title. Like the sad face. It says, I was writing a new review and added it to my long string of past reviews, and the app blinked twice. First, I started writing again. The second time it blinked, my review was totally gone. I checked back a few days and it's disappeared completely. I guess I had to start again. I remember I was saying the Lucan Steve Harvey bit was really funny. Thank you. But I forgot the rest. Hopefully I can submit this review and it won't disappear. Well, it didn't disappear, but your other ones are gone. And for the rest of y'all, step up. HR Paper Stacks been holding it down by themselves, keeping the commercials out of it. But like, how many weeks in a row can it just be HR Paper Stacks and we not getting no new reviews?
We know
we got to start putting commercials back. If nobody else is gonna leave a review, we've only had people leave updated reviews for like the last month. March 20th was an updated review from Stressley Snipes. The HR Paper Stacks held it down for everybody for the last month. We got to make a rule, like no more like 3-4 in a row. It's got to be new people got to start coming in, or old people got to update older ones less frequently or something. But we want more 5-star reviews. We're greedy, we're hungry, and we need that.
And that's the
validation.
thing with the 5-star reviews. Everybody say they love us. Everybody want us to visit their city. They want to come out and see us and hug us and tell us how good
have
we
sex
look.
with us, give us money to have sex. These are some freaks, Karen. Is that where you were going with this?
I did not say that.
My bad. What happens in Vegas?
I did not say that at all. I was just saying, all these people got all these love for us, but you ain't left no 5-star review. Shame on you. And also, you don't have to be in the Apple ecosystem, because I know some people don't like Apple, and I get that. Just go to the Apple site and you can create an account. And leave us a 5-star review, and you ain't got to really fuck with Apple. All we want is your 5 stars.
All right, let's get into the episodes, because promises made, promises kept. 3248, Never Ask, Never Care, was our feedback episode. We got 4 comments. The first is from Marissa. who says, regarding Fetterman and accountability, the Bernie peeps and inability to hold folks accountable in any other way than cancel culture is glaring and unproductive. There is another way. Here in Seattle, our more progressive option one for mayor, I volunteered for the campaign. Recently, she has seemed to flip on a core surveillance issue in the city, and not only are people calling it out, but the very people who ran her campaign have organized a protest against this decision and put pressure on the mayor. This week, other groups who supported her have done the same. It's been refreshing to see, because in a world of stand culture politics, it's dope to see people stand on principles rather than tap dance for power and organize in a way that is actually effective versus just trying to cancel her. Would be dope to see any of that translate into national politics. We're so consumed with content and the currency of the internet, but there are those are the very things that got us this Nazi reality TV ass administration. Facts. The only way out will be organization. We cannot stand our way out of this. I agree, man.
Wow, 100.
People really be like,
agree.
The politicians are their celebrities, and a lot of our conversation around them is more about, you know, supporting them as a brand and not necessarily supporting their acts in power and what they should and would need to be doing
and their policies.
That being said, I think there's also like a lack of understanding and deference and nuance and stuff when it comes to our online discussions. I find that people in real life are much more reasonable and understanding and pragmatic and ready to get shit done. Like you said, I think it matters that it was people that on the ground. Because you said it's people volunteer for the campaign. Now, I'm sure they use the internet to organize, of course, and social media helps.
Oh, yeah, internet
but
has its purpose, yes.
They don't feel that pressure until it's real people in their face on some like, hey, man, this shit is whack. We don't want, you know, Cop City or whatever it is. We have to make this felt. We don't want these, like that one town where the politicians got put a bunch of data centers in, and then everybody lost their positions.
Yeah, they was like, we don't want no fucking data center. Yeah. Like, we've seen what happened to these other cities when these goddamn data centers. Your electricity bill goes up, you run out of water. They was like, no, we don't want that bullshit here.
There were real consequences to it, and they weren't just, I don't like, because this is the thing about the stand culture part. A lot of the stand stuff comes down to, we're just going to be mean on the internet.
Yes.
And so that, while it can have an effect on people's like mental health, or if someone's like kind of online a lot, maybe it'll trickle into like, oh, so-and-so reads their tweets and they saw nobody likes what they said. But a lot of times those politicians online, or just people in general, celebrities too, human beings, it's like, okay, this is the internet. I put my phone down. This doesn't exist. And now I'm going to go to my job and do what the fuck I want to do.
Agreed.
So I think it's dope that that happens. And that is like a beacon of like hope of ways we could move in the future. And I did wish it translated to national politics, but I don't know that it ever will, as long as people have social media and feel like that is real power as opposed to their vote, which is they think is not real power.
Agreed. It's an illusion. It's like you feel like you're living in a topsy-turvy upside down world. Mm-hmm. And it kind of happened here in Charlotte with the tolls, because they was like, hey, we gonna come down there and do them tolls. Them people was like, hey, what you not gonna do is have this shit. And like people like showed up, and all of a sudden they started canceling. All of a sudden they started wanting to have the conversations that them motherfuckers should have had in the first place and involve the communities that were going to be directly impacted. You left them out. And they showed up and was like, hey, I got something to say. And guess what? They got scared. And that's the thing. A lot of times, yes, online can make people scared. But you know what really makes them scared? When you show up, like physically show up at the capitals, when you physically show up in the locations, and all of a sudden they are like, hey, these people are mad. When you start calling and phone banking and be like, hey, I am a real person, I'm not online, like I'm gonna hold you accountable for the shit that you promised me that you said you were gonna do. And I 100% agree with you, Marissa. Marissa. I think that for me it becomes very frustrating when you look at people and they want shit done, but they aren't really willing to do the work and hold the people accountable. Because that's the thing, it's accountability. And we live in a world where it's all or nothing. And that frustrates me, those all or nothing people. Sometimes progression is slow. You know, everybody think justice is just going to automatically show up. It does not. It does not. It takes years and decades. Sometimes you're gonna be dead and gone before your justice gets to the point where somebody is benefiting from it, and it might not actually be you. And that's a sacrifice that people aren't willing to take.
Yeah, I think the general idea of showing up in person and showing up at the Capitol, like you brought up, that is true. It does matter. It does change things. But you know what else? Showing up at the polls.
That's the most important one right there.
Because even if you show up and you like, the fear is y'all gonna show up at the polls, and no one wants to do the full connection because that's like almost corny or cliche or whatever. But that's what they scared of for real. A lot of these Republicans who are stepping down now are stepping down because they know that people are going to show up at the polls and they expect to lose. And so it's like, I'd rather say I resigned than I lost. Maybe I can get my career back after Trump is gone and
they'll come back,
and Republicans are out of power and people have, and I can still run on. I wasn't really a part of that. I left. So I think that's a real thing that's happening. Appia replied, that's a great example of people really doing things that actually can lead to something. The nonstop online outrage gives people a feeling of being engaged without them really doing anything. When Donald Trump was still on Twitter, people suggested giving him a phone that goes nowhere, but he thinks it would post on Twitter. Well, online outrage and the nonstop posting is doing exactly what was suggested. People think they are moving something, but they just create negative noise like bots and no real change. It's worse, as if they didn't do anything because they feel like they're doing important stuff, but they're just burning their energy in the fire pit of outrage. And when it's time to vote, many of them don't even go. I really like that the Black Guy Who Tips talks about this. I don't see anyone else doing it because bigger media also uses outrage, clicks, and engagement to make money, so they don't want it to change. Damn, that was good, Appia. Thank you. And I agree, not just because you complimented our show, but just the general lack of this kind of conversation happening on major platforms is very disheartening to me.
Yes.
And I know it's because content-wise, what we're saying is cliche and corny to be like, but honestly, if we just showed up in force and voted as left as we could vote, like whatever the options were, not saying everyone's going to end up being Mom Donnie. I'm saying you vote as left as the options you have right now are. It'll move the country to the left. It's the only way it's going to work. It's going, but it will work. It just will take time. Because that's what happened with all the jerry rigging and gerrymandering.
Yep.
I read this book, One Person, No Vote. It's a really good book. And one of the things that they had a chapter that pointed out, when Republicans rigged elections where only a Republican can win that seat, it causes the seat to go further and further right. Because what's going to win votes when only Republicans can vote? It's going to be the person who comes out and is like, when you get a Marjorie Taylor Greene or someone that we consider like a fucking crazy person, it is because that district has gotten so red that just being a moderate Republican, just being a Republican who was like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go that far, that's not enough. Now the person that we go, that's a crazy person. Well, when they show up and they throw that red meat and they like, you know what, the Jews got a weather machine, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you know what, yeah, let's vote for her because that's the most we can get. That could work for the left.
Yep.
That could work for the left, but it would require people investing in the first steps. Not like you can't just hop all the way to Marjorie Taylor Greene. It starts with, we're going to make sure that this place is so blue that a blue person feels like I am guaranteed to win. Once you get to that point, when you get a challenger who doesn't have the same money, they don't need the same money. They don't need the same investment. Now they already have this ground base. They can just come in and be like, I say Medicare for all. And the other person's like, well, I think, Medicare for some people and maybe like that person the second person, they losing. That's what we could have in America, but no one wants to do the first part. And when we look around the country at places that we consider like blue safe havens, it's because of that. It's always, they had Democrats as a baseline. They weren't happy with the Democrats after a while that they were having that were the baseline, and they kept going, no, that's not enough. No, that's not enough. We want something bluer. We want something different. And eventually you can get to those places. Ronan Raphael says, I still hear the Carl Lewis clip at random moments and just bust out laughing no matter where I'm at. I was going to pull it up to watch, but after this happened 3 times, I said, uh-oh, that's how addiction begins. Don't do that to a Parava Quran again, Rod. I need the streets to get used to me with zero smiling. Don't mess with my timeline. Sean says, your talk about the downward spiral being connected to reality TV got me thinking about how the previous racist D-list celebrities with age-related mental infirmity in the White House, Reagan, was at least in actual movies. Meanwhile, the more recent racist D-list celebrity with age-related mental infirmity in the White House may have played in a couple of bit parts. The first time I actually saw him was when he was playing a pedophile-looking creep in Home Alone 2, or at least that's what I called him at the time. Turns out he was playing himself. So remove the looking from the previous description. But he got his D-list standing from the reality TV. I think there has been a real shift to the lowest common denominator content, and a big part of that has been the criminal terrorist organization Republicans moved to defund arts, education, and public arts and entertainment. Bite-size LDC comment, and every time I type that, I hear JL saying it in my head. Tends to be more profitable, but there's a real desire for more fulfilling media. Unfortunately, we need an electoral slaughter of the terrorists to get that done. Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I definitely think part of Republicans de-educating everybody has been like these results, you know, low educated people, people that are angry but don't know how anything works.
Yep.
Which is a big problem on both sides of things, but especially on the left, because that's the side that's supposed to be like so crucially attached to facts and reason and understanding, and we've lost that.
Yes,
you know, I feel like sometimes I feel like I know people might get a bit annoyed with me. Hopefully it's mostly in my head, but and if you're listening to this show, it's because you care about this shit. But this is why I'm so like, is that what happened, or is that just how you feeling?
Yeah, and it's a big difference. And the thing is, everybody could get caught in that. And I know sometimes when you feel passionate about something or you feel certain ways about something, truth be told, you can get emotions and facts mixed up. Like, you really can. Like because you feel a certain way, all of a sudden, if you're not careful and if you're not aware and if you don't do your research, if you don't challenge yourself, your emotions will become facts, and that's not a true state. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, can you prove that is important to me? Yeah. Most people seem to take it as some sort of challenge to their authority or whatever, right, or like credibility, and it's not. But I understand I can't be friends with everybody. I can't have everyone in my circle.
Same.
Because I don't take it as a insult when you ask me, and I can't be around people that take it as an insult. But this is one of the reasons I'm such a stickler about, like, okay, is that the truth and the only way this can be viewed, because it matters. What are the surrounding circumstances? Because I feel like we are currently in, like you said, lowest common denominator type of entertainment and education and information system. So like at all points, where do you get your news? YouTube.
Yeah,
where Joe Rogan,
TikTok, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Facebook.
Like I know there were people that got tight about it, but right, I'm not backing down because I'm not. I'm not saying it to insult anybody.
Right.
But I remember when I brought up like how TikTok is not really a news source.
It's not,
and a lot of it's filtered through personality, and that does do something to your brain. Like, if even listening to us, it's gonna do something. I wouldn't necessarily call us a news source. Like, we go and find news and read news and discuss news, but we're not the source. We didn't do the research.
Right. You
would always be better off checking out whatever the fuck we're talking about directly for yourself.
Agreed.
If I'm reading something, because I'm making a show, I'm not doing a news article, so I'm actually skipping through stuff. What I find is important, points that I want to talk about. So I think all that stuff is important. And when you don't have an educated public, they're not interested in that, because that's the further you go closer to the source, the more quote unquote work, the more literate, the more whatever you gotta be, as opposed to just this emotional stuff you can get from listening to Theo Von just tell you this is what I think, and you go, man, I like that Theo Von, and that's enough information for me.
Yeah, and also that has a lot to do with why nowadays, people go, well, the Democrats, I guess slogans are how they talk. It's not that. It's just for the fact that a lot of us are in facts. So we ain't gonna be like certain phrases that make you go rah 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 rah, and that's it. With like no critical thinking.
Right.
And the Republicans are very, very good at jumping on slogans and symbols and phrases and one words, and their people will eat it up like red meat and go. And our side, we're trying to explain. We want you to understand.
But you know what though? I've always felt that was overstated.
I can see that, yes.
Because I don't think the simplicity is what is that, like, I always felt like it was an excuse.
I can see that.
The simplicity of a Republican lie is not what is making the lie catch on, in my opinion. That's been something, because, and then I'll go to something that I'll just go to something that I always go to, and no one's ever been able to explain this to me in a way that would make me change my mind. How come it doesn't work on black people?
Ain't that the truth? Because
no one's ever been able to explain
it. The dumbest and the least educated, but we are like, no.
It's just weird.
Right.
No one's ever been able to explain why. It's always an excuse for like white people who make racist decisions so they can go, well, they actually are voting against their own interests. Okay, but how? Well, it's the slogan. The slogan was so good they didn't understand. No, I don't think so. I actually don't think so. I think they do understand. They understand enough.
Yeah.
They understand enough of like, hey, this guy doesn't like the people I don't like.
Right.
Why? Don't matter. I'm
Don't
voting
matter.
for him.
Yep, don't matter.
And, everything's falling apart with these lies. The scales have to fall from the eyes. That's why our platform, I feel like, is one of these ones. We're not going to ever cross over to this mainstream, because you literally can't say what I'm saying right now anywhere but like black spaces.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like, I can say this on Karen Hunter. She keep it real, and she black,
right.
and black people, like, that's like, they're not the only people who listen, but this is a space for truth and a space for us.
Right. And you're actually seeking it out. Agreed.
Yeah, if I was on CNN, I said this shit, I'd be doxxed and out of here by the afternoon.
Yeah, you'll never be a guest on the network again.
Like, motherfuckers be death threatening me and shit, but it's the truth. Like, it doesn't fool anybody but people that want to be fooled. So I don't even think it's, I think but you're not wrong, because where I think the lack of education hurts us is not necessarily with the slogans, it's with the do somethings. You know what I'm saying? Because if you stop that person who proclaims to be like super left progressive and you go, what is to be done and how would we do it? They don't know, and they don't care that they don't know.
Right.
They just go, but I want them to, they must can do something.
Yeah,
it's like, there are ways to do things, but it like, here's what it would require, and they're not interested in any of those steps. It's all just, I want to yell at you,
vibes.
And then I want to look up, and everything is fixed, and I didn't have to do anything but yell at you on Twitter. And they hate everybody that's in charge because they're not doing something. And even if you start being like, well, here's some evidence of the things that they have done that you suggested,
not interested in it.
They don't care. A great example of this was when they wanted to impeach Trump the second time, and I remember saying on the podcast, personally, I think it's a waste of fucking time. I actually don't think they should do it.
Me too.
And I said the reason I don't think they should do it is not because I'm like, I don't want him impeached. No, that's not why. It's that y'all are gonna say, well, they should do it so we can get everybody on the record with where they stand. Then when people vote, they can get them out of office. That's what y'all said. And I said, that's not going to happen. Here's what's actually going to happen. They're going to vote to impeach them. They won't have the votes, which we already knew they won't have the votes.
We already knew.
And then y'all will say these weak-ass Democrats can't even impeach the president. Yes. And that is what happened.
Yes. Yeah.
That is how people spelling it. So the lack of education, I think, hurts us there with the understanding.
Yes.
Less so than with the like, oh, hope and change, or build back better, we're not going back. Those are great, simple slogans. Don't take a rocket science to understand them. The slogan ain't the problem.
I 100% agree. And it's also, one of those things where, to do something, people, and like the people we were talking about Trump, everything is symbolic. And I'm old. I don't give a fuck about your symbolism. I want results. I want shit to get done. I want bills to be passed. I want you to, I am a results person. I don't care how pretty you look. I don't care what you phrase it. I don't care what you say. I want you to get in office and motherfucking do something. And I mean really do something. Not do something as, oh, I imagine these things. No, do something as far as get motherfucking results, because that's the thing that gets you reelected, and those are the things that should cause people to move.
Yeah, I think the do something is specific to certain offices and stuff, but I only expect it when I see the setup is it's possible. I don't expect the impossible, because I've been in this country too long, and I just like this whole make it enough shit is just killing us.
Yes, agreed.
All right, YouTube, we got a few comments. 4-letter word says, did y'all set the new cameras yet? Karen looking a little blurry, but it could be the lighting. I don't know. We did set up the new cameras. Karen, but I remember that was at the beginning of the show when we were downloading a video game in the background. So I think it's set. I think it's straight. But if y'all check in if it keeps if it's an issue.
Right.
Call them in reference to Tyrone, says Joseph. Jay Ceasy says, just hearing the latest soul version of Black Folks Business from Psycho Music, and Larry June would sound lovely spitting on that beat. Respect and blessings to y'all. Peace, Jay Sizzle. Shout out to Larry June. I listened to him on the some of him his latest album on the plane to Vegas. Very smooth rap. Kim Doc says, yes, shout out to Rob for introducing me to infrared crypto and his sounds when I needed a couple of options for a podcast intro. He hooked me up with like 7 options and even made me a beat according to the vibe I wanted and the instruments. He's such an amazing talent. We have so many talented people.
We have so many
that are listening to this.
People. Yes, we do.
Let's see. Christoph says, happy birthday to me, the star. Happy birthday to the star of the show, Karen. So, my bad. I thought you said me. I thought he said happy birthday to himself.
Yeah, child. I'm celebrating my birthday all month long. I got all kind of birthday coupons and shit, and I was like, you know what? I got to the end of the month.
LHH Imani says, hey, Rod and Karen, great show. I really like that first soul version of the Black People Business. Enjoy your time in Las Vegas. Thank you, and we did. We appreciate all of y'all. Let's see. Nothing on Patreon for this episode. For comments, so let us check out Spotify real quick and see if we had anything in the comment section for this, and we did. We had 3 comments. Jay Adamo 8 says, is the meet and greet for the VIP tickets just with Bomani or y'all as well? Us as well. We'll be there. Whatever we got to do to be there, we'll be there. I'm sure it won't be an issue. Even if we just sit in the corner and people meet Bomani, and if they feel like hollering at us, like
right.
It is, this happened when JL came for our live show. Like, JL's all like, I'll get out of here, it's, I don't know, it's y'all's meet and greet. And I'm like, no, it's more than likely not every single person, maybe, but more than likely if people show up to see us, they know you.
They
and
came
if
to see you.
It'll actually be weirder if you're not here and they want to take a picture than for you to be here and them not to want to take a picture,
Agreed.
And it does get to a weird thing, because like I know for me and our fans, they're so polite. Sometimes I'm like, do you look like you want to take a picture with JL, but you look too polite to ask because you don't want to bother him.
Yeah, so I was like, come on over here, JL.
Yeah, I'm like, JL, you want to get in this too? And
right.
It's like, JL's like, what am I, Make-A-Wish kid? I'm like, no, this is, I'm assuming for a large part of these people is, and some of them were just directly asking, like, well, can JL get in it? Like, because then that's the thing for them. They like, am I being weird if I'm like, I'm here for y'all, but I would really like JL to be in the picture?
Yes.
So you got to just cut through the awkwardness. So we're going to be there to cut through the awkwardness. And if 0 people, or if everybody's like, we just want to see Bomani,
we're fine cool with that too. Yes, I am.
I'm glad he's shining, and it'll just mean it's more of a chance for us when we do get up there to introduce people to what we do.
Agreed.
Frank C says Fetterman's parents are rich, and he played that down by living in a converted car sales building in Braddock, Pennsylvania. I love that y'all have these receipts. I did not follow this man. I did not live there,
because this impacts those people that live there.
I didn't live there, so I wasn't as tapped in, and I did understand that the idea was it was him or Dr. Oz, but that was that was my first time really hearing about his bid. Was I knew of him as a guy who, like, he's a mayor, he wears t-shirts, and he was on the Daily Show. I knew that part, but I didn't know, like, black people especially was like, hey, this motherfucker is actually not a good person. But I'm sorry he won, man, because I'm happy he won over Dr. Oz, but I'm sorry he won his primary because no one takes our shit seriously, man.
No, they don't.
You know,
then they get in office and do wild shit, and the white people are like, and the niggas are like, we told y'all he wasn't shit. We was like, we told y'all, but y'all told us to sit down, shut the fuck up, and do what we say because we white.
Yeah, I'm just tired of us not having, like, the reckoning afterwards of people that did, like, I'm sure it's not the same exact people, obviously, and obviously, and most importantly, it doesn't really matter if they're not in the voting district of the people I'm about to talk about. But I'm just saying, at least on our online discourse, there seems to be very little reckoning with people going, actually, you know what? I had it wrong on Fetterman. Maybe I have it wrong on Plattner. Like, I don't think that's a big step to take, but the reason that it's a mental big step for some of these people is because it would require being like, man, these black people were right, and I didn't like that. Like, I was all hyped up for, say, James Tallarico, and then they kind of hit me with like, hey man, he kind of got some issues, and I dismissed them. And let's say, you know, he wins even, and then some shit happens. There's never gonna be a moment of like, yeah, I see. You know, the fact that so many Bernie fans have never had a moment of like, he really could have easily won if he just would have been a little better on racial issues.
Yes.
Like, and that it's not an issue for Bernie, it's an issue for the black people that didn't vote for him. It's like, why didn't y'all just do what you're supposed to do? Right. As opposed to any other demographic, what do we say? Why didn't that politician go and get those votes? Even if it's a racist, we will be like, I can't believe Jasmine Crockett isn't trying to get racist people in Texas to vote for her. What is wrong with her? She's unelectable. But whenever it's black people, it's like they need to just vote and shut the fuck up. So we're in a weird place because I think if we had that reckoning, we would get, I don't want to say like a liberal utopia, but we would have a much bluer country if we had a reckoning with people's inability to create a vision that can get black people as hopeful as you know, these bros and stuff that are like, you know, Bernie or bust or whatever. Like, if we could find a coalition of that, as opposed to like the Bernie bro type of person feeling like, black people gonna be there, I don't know if I want to fuck with this no more. If we could just get them over that, where they don't say stuff like identity politics is really ruining this whole thing, where they're like, no, that's not identity politics. So women wanting protections in the workplace is not an identity issue, it's just a human rights issue.
Right.
And we do support that. Trans people wanting to not be discriminated against, that's not an identity politics issue, that's just a human rights issue, and we for that. Like, we over here, like, this is a mark that's checked off. You ain't gotta worry, and we good on the economy, and we good on like public health and all that stuff. I think that's a winning strategy. It's just very weird that so many people that it's just, I don't say weird, it's just, I understand the reality is that it's very difficult because the innate racial biases of some of these white progressives is one that no one wants to acknowledge because they think they're gonna lose. Like, to be honest, I think Bernie is scared to say to his white fans, we're going to be extremely progressive minded on racial issues as well, and we're sticking to our guns on that, and we're not gonna compromise. The same way y'all don't want me to compromise on Medicare for all, right? The same way y'all don't want me to compromise on bringing these big banks and all these, I am not going to compromise on these issues. And if you really do care about the economy the way you say, you will come with me on this. Instead, it feels more like they're scared that the folks are going to change, so it's like, let's just never talk about these things. And anyway, I say all that to say, until we have that reckoning of like, this is what went wrong and this is how we fix it, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to constantly go through like this cycle of like, when things are bad, people the white people who typically wouldn't tolerate and it's not just white people, for the record.
It's a lot of people.
It's men. It's in privileged people. Let's go with privilege, because I don't want it's turning into white, but I mean privilege.
Right.
The privileged people will tolerate more equality when things are bad. Yep. And then when they think things are going good, all of a sudden it's back to like, yeah, but I don't want that person to be protected or to get the same rights as me or to be at the same job I got. And so maybe it's going to always just keep doing that.
I 100% agree. And also is one of those things to where it's going to be a consistent battle with these things, because when you have the privileged people coming in and wanting to dictate shit because they're privileged, and you have other people going, hey, we matter too,
right?
And then you're always gonna have a conflict, because they're gonna be like, do what we say, and then you got other groups that say, kiss my ass.
Yeah,
and so it's gonna be a back and forth because of that, because they're never gonna see eye to eye, because like, you don't want me here, and so since you don't want me here, then fuck you. And then they go, why are you hollering at me? Why are you so hot? Like, they act like you're the enemy when I'm not the enemy. I'm not stupid. I hear what you're saying. I can see through what you're saying, and you're talking to me like I'm stupid, saying I'm uneducated and I don't know the rules.
Right,
and
low information.
Right, like you keep saying all the cold words, and the thing is, you call yourself a good one, and not trying to be funny. So when I look, sometimes I'm like, I don't really see a difference in my mind.
Yeah. So I think it's possible. We just haven't seen it done often enough, and we haven't seen it done on a national level since probably Obama was probably the last one who. No, that's not fair. Joe Biden ran on that. That's not fair, because Joe Biden was, the difference between Joe Biden is that he started as a centrist, and then as people demanded more left leaning stuff, he just like, cool, no problem,
as they demanded.
But yeah, all right, back to this. Sorry about that long ass tangent. Let's see. My bad. I didn't see the venue when I last checked, says Cheyenne. Sorry. No, it's all good. You asked, and it was on there. You just got to click the thing, and I'm not sure what day they put it on there. Right. At any rate, it all went fine. Everybody showed up. We had a great time.
Yep.
Vegas was lit. Or Henderson, Nevada, great people, and our recap of it, I think I thought we did a good job of at least giving y'all the vibes of what happened out there. And it was long, but like, we wanted to be thorough.
Yeah, I had a great time, and if I ever was to go back, I think I would stay in Henderson again. First, not trying to be funny, but I mean, like I said, we probably could do the strip experience, but I really
it would depend on what I went for.
That's true too.
I think if I went for a vacation, I didn't look up the price for none of these strip hotels, so maybe it's so crazy that I wouldn't do it, but I could see, like, if you went for a vacation, stand on the strip, because everything's there, and you just get up every morning and walk up down and find a place and do a thing.
And and I think that would be very fun, just to have kind of everything within distance. So you see something, you go, oh, I'll check that out tomorrow, something across the street.
So I could see that.
That's why all the shows and stuff are too.
And it's very, like, loud, and a lot of shit is happening all the time, so maybe how you fall asleep. Maybe sleeping is just crazy there, because, they pumping oxygen in to keep you from sleeping and shit. So maybe it's better to stay off, but I could just see for the experience doing it.
I could too. Me too.
The poll says, did you fall for any April Fool's jokes this year? Yes or no? 15% of people did. 85% of our audience did not.
You know what? I've got... because of everything that's going on and the way the economy and all that shit is, on April the 1st, the day for my birthday, I believe no one. You tell me something, I'll look you a goddamn lie. I'm not believing anything you tell me, because I'm like, no, it's enough fucked up shit happening. I don't need jokes.
I feel like we living in the April Fool's universe.
Right.
Like, I feel like every day is an April Fool's with this AI shit, fake news, parody. I'm putting in quotes, because a lot of parody accounts aren't parody, they're just liars. Like, there's not a joke or anything clever about it. So yeah, I could kind of see us feeling like it's April Fool's every day.
Right. So I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, April Fool's year, April Fool's century.
Come on through. Donald Trump is the whole goddamn April Fool's.
All right, let's move into the next segment, but first we need to take a break so we can put in these commercials. Let's see. What? Let's go with. Wait. What section am I in? Oh, that's why I'm in the wrong folder. Oh man. Anyway, here we go, guys. Here's a beat.
Stopping your working.
Yes, well,
How's it coming along?
it's harder to write than all the others, much. I noticed.
Just that you seem puzzled every now and again.
That's it, yes. Puzzled. Puzzled. It's a funny word.
All right, that's Puzzled by DJ Jaffa, but I feel like that intro is probably too long for us to use as a break. It took like 30 seconds for the beat start. Anyway, we back. The next episode is 3249. Baby, 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 Chili ain't too proud to beg after creeping with MAGA.
You're in that title.
Let's see.
Hilarious.
Appia says, me, a foreigner, seeing Whataburger written out and thinking this makes way more sense than Waterburger. I was hearing and questioning for many reasons.
I can see that.
Yeah, we have accents.
Right. We have them deep accents, so it does sound like Whataburger.
We from the South. Ronan says, great business idea. Have you had a water burger? A burger only served in water booths or beds. Very healthy too. I asked Sean to fine tune it before I meet with investors. By the way, I also pronounced it water burger at first. Sean replied, I was over in Arima for the Arima hot springs, but there are also some interesting shops up there. There's a shop up there that sells interesting sodas called Yakiniku Korean barbecue, bacon, pickle, and dozens of other flavors I did not decide to try. Anyway, my thought was that water burger could be a series of burger flavored sodas. That being said, a combination sensory deprivation tank burger shop would be amazing. All of your senses could focus on the burger itself, the pure burger experience. I mean, even an Arby's burger would be amazing in a sensory deprivation tank. Rona Raphael says, the red flag for me with Ro Khanna bringing up the millions of fans multiple times was talking about Hasan Piker, when he was talking about Hasan Piker and then trying to disqualify Alex Jones. Sir, they're all heaven sent with millions of fans. Why stop at one? At a time of back Democrats winning two all over the country, this man thirsting for millions of views. If I had OnlyFans, I would demand that he show up. I got millions of fans too. Maybe I'll get started. I mean, like, that's the thing. I think I articulated this on the show because I do see the online vitriol towards like Hasan Piker from certain like factions of Democrats that are like, fuck him and he's not gonna vote Democrat, so don't even talk to him, blah blah blah. I'm not that extreme on some like don't even go on there. I don't find him to be like a scary figure, like don't go talk like and I don't think a politician who's trying to win the votes of however many people, especially nationally, should be afraid of any platform. Like, I don't think like that. I don't want a president who's like, man, I'm scared to go on the Breakfast Club. Like, that's not what I'm emphasizing. I'm just saying strategically, what is the benefit analysis there?
That's my thing.
And what are your expectations walking in as a politician? And what about these expectations of the people that are watching? Because I think there's an unrealistic expectation from many of the fans of like a Hasan Piker is that he's going to back these Democrats. Like, there's an argument they can give him where he's like, well, God damn it, now I'm on board. Whatever you say, 100%, I'm with that shit. I don't think there's never going to be an inflection point for that, because just as a person that understands how content works,
Maybe lose his audience.
You can't be Hasan Piker and totally in for whatever the Democrats, the mainstream Democrats, whatever they say. Meaning,
whatever.
Even if the
matter.
mainstream Democrats, which over years have changed on positions and moved further to the left on certain things, wherever they're at can never be left enough for Hasan Piker, or his brand really will die. And I don't, that's not he's a bad person thing. That's just this is how brands work.
Yep.
He would be killing his brand to be like, you know what? I had Kamala Harris on the show. I'm with Kamala. I agree with everything she said. Actually, I actually will definitely be voting for her. And I'm ready to move on. No, because now he's lost that part of his audience that understands that that's there for him to not be the guy that does that. And he becomes a de facto person that feels like or may have to be put in a position to defend everything these people do, which I don't think anybody that has a platform wants to do. If I don't get a check from you, I'm not spending all day fucking defending you. I didn't make those decisions.
Ain't that the truth?
But I still, even with all that, I don't think you should be afraid to go. Like the straw man, and maybe it's not a straw man. It's a straw man for me because I don't feel this way. But the idea of Rokon is just like, look, man, we got to go on there because I ain't afraid to go. I'm not telling you be afraid. You can go on there. I don't see why you would stop there. If the whole thing is I want to go where the eyes are, you should also do Jubilee. You should also do Joe Rogan.
Right.
You should also do Alex Jones.
Yeah, but you had a line, which
it's weird to me that you got a line.
Yes,
you should I'm with it. I don't think any of these people should be afraid to articulate and stand up for their shit. And if it looks bad on the internet and some out of context clip, then it just gonna look, they were gonna do that to you anyway.
Yeah, they were.
So you might as well show up and maybe you will convince a few people or change a heart of mind or, show people you ain't full of shit or something. But it's a rigged game that you're playing, but I understand why you play it.
Agreed.
I just don't get the whole idea of there's some people that are off limits. If you're going, go. And I honestly stand for your shit. This is something I struggle with, but honestly, now that I'm saying this out loud, I think I'm changing my mind on myself. I think I would go on a bullshit ass platform and be like, I'm representing myself and I'm standing for what I believe, and y'all not gonna change that. So I'm gonna be Rod everywhere I'm at. So if I go on Joe Rogan's show, I'm gonna still be me, and they gonna hear my perspective. Now, look, they might not want me back.
All right,
we might not be friends. But the more I think about it, it's like, yeah, fuck it. If I got invited on the Breakfast Club, they can't change who I am. You know what I mean? So maybe it's gonna be a bad, weird, fucked up episode of the show, and then people will be like, I hate it, or they'll be like, fuck that guy, he doesn't get this show. But I being myself is what I can control. I can't control all the other shit, and being in the room to be myself, I'm not afraid to do that. So yeah, I like politicians that aren't afraid. I think that does matter, but the usefulness of Hasan Piker's platform, beyond just how many eyes it has, is the part that I think needs to be agreed upon before any politician appears. What are your expectations?
Yeah, and also, when you make decisions like that, you have to be willing to stand 10 toes down on any backlash that you're going to get from people that's like, the fuck you go on that show for? Them people don't care. You're not going to gain anybody. Because for a lot of people, including myself, I feel like shit like that is a goddamn waste of time. But I get why they go. I'm not a politician. I'm not trying to get your fucking vote. They are.
Yeah. So it's just, like I said, and it may ultimately be a waste of time. That's a part of this too. Like, you might go on Alex Jones and it was a waste of time. And it's like they put out some bullshit clips and they tried to get you with some gotcha questions, or they refuse to acknowledge a fact. Like, it happens all the time, but in that position, I understand it.
I do too.
Rona Raphael says, weird to claim to have donated to Trump because you were supporting veterans. The orange turd is his first term. Did what for veterans? Even the donation he gave during the campaign, didn't the stupid group come out begging that they never received it? Maybe if I wasn't a veteran, I'd forget, as I have a long list of atrocities. He has a long list of atrocities. By the way, the day I knew the IG had installed the reshare button was at the IG congratulated me for resharing a big not so safe for work video that I was studying for research. I quickly reclaimed my share back. Terrible feature, causing emotional stress. My lawyers are on it. Yeah, I do not understand why the share button is just one tap on IG. That's crazy. Cause so many people be stealth IG and IG models and shit, and they don't want their thing showing up in the and they don't want their accidentally put it on their timeline.
Right.
And I just laugh because I know a lot of people look at butts. Porn is one of these things where everybody does it, but our weird puritanical hangups make it so it's taboo or something, but I'm like, I don't know, man. When I do it, I just laugh to be like, oh, so and so accidentally retweeted some cheeks. Huh. And I just move on with my life. I'm not like, how could he? He's the coach of Alabama. I'm like, yeah, I know how he could. He was looking at butts and accidentally hit the wrong button. That's kind of how everybody
how it
has made that mistake. They just shouldn't have made that a feature.
Agreed.
They should get like 17 pop-ups. Like, you sure?
Yes,
you sure?
yeah.
For real?
When you click it, they ought to ask you,
Yeah.
are you sure?
Obvious says, when I accidentally reposted the worst I watch on Instagram, it will be a site of a gossip podcast, non-racist, or some real estate content. I got so far in life without even knowing that people try to do this to Mrs. Obama, so I find it suspicious already what she looks at. I believe the accidental posting, but also definitely think this is the content she consumes. Agreed. EV says, despite the unhinged post from Dump, people overall are still supporting Turd, but at least I see some people starting to distance themselves from him. I'm still hoping for a truck coon to rescue us. If you're an anime fan, you know what I'm talking about. But until then, we're probably the worst timeline we could be in right now. Chili has been a little weird for a while and a bit colorist. The few times she's gone back and forth with people about her not being a chocolate woman, she takes issues with being considered a brown skinned woman, which is so weird because she is TLC's fan base is mostly black women of all shades.
Right.
Yeah, I never know what to do with that kind of stuff because on the one hand, like sometimes people say that and it's more like whatever their personal, like I don't want to be compared to a food. How come y'all got to say every black woman is ebony colored or chocolate covered or caramel? How come I can't be? I don't know. And they never have a thing of what is the right thing to say, just what not to say.
Right.
So I just, I always still feel like those are people's personal preferences and you just stay out of it. If she don't want to be called chocolate, I ain't going to call you chocolate. It wasn't bothering me either way.
Right.
But that being said, I did see people bringing this up as one of the things that was like a tip off that she was like MAGA. And I was like, man, y'all are finding receipts where I would never even venture to look. How come you don't want to be called chocolate? Is it because you a bad wench? I'm like, I wouldn't even make connected those two, but congratulations to y'all. Y'all did turn out to be right that she was MAGA. So take the win. It just comes off as self-hating behavior. Maybe her weird behavior is why Left Eye started to distance herself from the group before her untimely death. Yeah, that is one thing that I think can't be debated. Lisa Left Eye Lopez was very progressive.
Yeah, she was.
Like, I mean, you saw the lyrics, the words, the style, the things she was very progressive. And I know T-Boz even made it sound like, and I got a fucking bandmate that voted for Trump, meaning that she sounds like she not with the MAGA shit. But I do believe Chili is with the MAGA shit, and she's just saying whatever it takes to keep the tour from being canceled.
Right.
But whatever.
Right, and who knows? Like, it might be up in the air, it might not be. They still might, because it's one of those things where a lot of people pre-bought tickets and all that stuff. So some people might be like, hey, demanding
if people
money
start
back.
I think it's been a couple weeks, right? If they're currently on tour, if we haven't seen a lot of videos of like it's empty as hell up in here, they probably made it through.
Okay, right.
Because this was on the 10th
I don't
that this person left this comment.
Okay, I don't know when the tour started.
And this episode was on the 5th. So if the tour is going on, which I don't know.
No, I don't know either.
But if it is, and we're not seeing that footage of empty arenas, then they might be all right. And if it hasn't started, and we start seeing videos of empty arenas, that's a bad sign. So we'll see how pissed off people are about this. But man, you got a black woman fan base. I just don't know why you fuck with MAGA anything, because there's no safe way for you to fuck with MAGA.
90-something%, like 98, 97% clip. Child, get out of here.
The black women who vote definitely ain't on your side, and probably not the ones who don't vote.
Right.
Like, that's crazy. But I guess in a selfish way, I am a little bit happy whenever I do see a black woman who's MAGA, because sometimes black men catch such fucking heat.
They do, like they the only group that portrays. Right.
Even though we're the most liberal men when it comes to voting, and of those people who vote Republican, at the highest level, 1 out of 5 black men vote for MAGA. So the vast majority of us don't agree or fuck with that. And yet we constantly catch heat from even people that aren't black women, which is when I really get mad. Like, black women show us a little bit of shade. I'm like, okay, you right, sis. We got to keep up. I want to do better. But I'm like, I won't accept like we're doing bad. We're not doing bad.
Agreed.
But I will accept we can do better because everyone can always do better.
Yes.
But like, Trump made gains with every demographic, including black women, which went from like, I forget what, like say 6% to 8 or some shit. It is, sometimes I do be like, oh, okay, cool. So y'all know how it feels too, the betrayal. Cause that's how I be feeling when these NFL players show up and be like, I'm with Trump. I'm like, it's betrayal. As to me, as a black man in America, I feel betrayed by these dudes cooning out for Trump. And I'm like, damn, do nobody else ever feel this?
Yeah.
And now it's good sometimes to be like, cool, you know, LGBTQ people, they get it every once in a while. It's like, what the fuck? Caitlyn Jenner said what? Like, I like that. Just not because I want people to suffer, because I want us to all have that same feeling to like, man, it really fucking sucks to see somebody that you don't see any reason they should be over there, being over there, chastising the rest of us. And so, yeah, whatever the consequences are for Chili, we'll see. I also, I guess maybe selfishly kind of low-key hope that she don't get like canceled in that, like they tour gets canceled and shit. Just because I also think when this kind of stuff happens, people start being like, well, this is sexist and misogynistic because Kanye is back. Kanye is not back. He's getting his shit canceled left and right.
Back.
And then they'll be like, no one did anything to such and such. And I'm like, and then of course, Chrisette Michelle, you know, they got to bring her up. So sometimes I'm like, oh, cool. Doja Cat kept working because she was really cooning hard and nobody can stop her because she's famous and powerful. And this is what the fuck I'm talking about. Because whenever it's a black dude, it's like, because no one holds them accountable. I'm like, no one holds anybody accountable if they talented.
100% agreed. And, you know, it's just one of them things where I'm looking at her like, child, most of the black women that do this have dry ass edges. Like, yo, I don't never see you with dry edges like that. You will go, oh, you
she got the baby hairs.
Right, you don't even go to the beautician. You be like, child,
that's how you know she
grease your scalp.
That's how you know she don't be talking about it.
She don't use no oils, and, you know.
No, wait, Chili don't use oils?
Not Chili, but but normally black women that are like this,
the edges give them away. But I'm saying her shit is tight. That's how you know she don't talk about it.
Right, so that was kind of throws you off. You be thinking like, but girl,
because she be in the salon quiet.
Yeah, you know she do.
They be like, girl, did you see what they doing with this abortion shit? That's some bullshit. She be like,
yeah, because you know you speak shit, fuck your hair up.
Well, I just feel like at conception it's a baby. What'd you say? I said I feel like I need to get my baby hairs laid. Is what I said. Either way, I don't believe her repost of the accident. I think she just couldn't handle the backlash. I feel bad for T-Boz because Chili is fucking with her bag. I think it's so funny too because Chili, I like that Chili understood she needed to lie to y'all. None of us think that was an accident. None of us think she's not a Republican.
Right.
And she came out here and lied multiple times. Like, I'm not a Republican. I'm not MAGA. I don't even like them people. I thought I was helping babies and troops. I'm like, that's not even true. But I respect that you are so scared that you doing this. And I would let you cook. Sean says, today I got up early and cleaned the kitchen before going to work and then coming home to cook supper. I think I could get away with an ain't shit husband card because of the obvious contrast. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But, and maybe as an inside joke, I just think if you went there and looked at the cards and saw all of them was like that, you realize the point I was making is more about it's not about would this card be funny if I got it? It's why the fuck are these the only options for a husband?
Yeah, that's what Roger thinks. Like, why are these the only options, right? Yeah,
I can't dress. I'm a lot to deal with.
I don't do shit, but you love me anyway.
I don't do anything around the house.
Right.
I'm not gonna help you out today.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
Right.
Very weird. And I guess there are men who must buy those cars, but man, like, look at yourself in the mirror, bro. Sean says, by the way, you know he was up in there like Whistler was a perfect line to bring this amazing episode to a close. Great work. Thank you, buddy. Mm-hmm. Sim Simma says, Ro Connor's commentary is odd, and I'm so grateful for Rod's response. Remember that influencer who had 2 million followers but couldn't sell 50 t-shirts? Has Piker helped get out the vote? Gotten donations for progressives. If the influence is only self-serving, then he isn't newsworthy to me. Yeah, like I said, I don't feel like he's like an enemy as much as I'm like, he has to do what he has to do for himself, because that's how brands sustain themselves. The idea of like bringing him into the fold, to me, is a fool's errand, and I think any politician who takes that in earnestly is definitely wasting money and resources where they could be going to places where you might be able to peel some people off. But if you look at it like, he got a lot of views, I just want to get my views out there, maybe these people won't be receptive. Maybe he even cooks me and is mean to me and calls me stupid and shit later on. In that time that I'm there in his face, and his audience sees that, maybe 5%, 10%. Some of y'all crossover listen to us and him, right? So that means some of y'all are willing to listen to what I would consider different points of view within that same scope. Right. So like, I'm not telling any Democrat to not fuck with him or go on there. Just, what are your expectations when you go? That's it. It's a very simple conversation. If they tell me like, I think I can get them on our side, I'll be like, then you shouldn't go.
Yep, because you're wasting your time.
That's a waste of your time, and that's a very naive thing to think. Now, if you just want to say, I want to get my views out there to his audience, I think you should go. I think that's smart. If you go on the Breakfast Club and you go, I just want people to, I'm going to convince Charlamagne and them that I'm a good person, that's a mistake. He's going to pull some gotcha question about, did you smoke weed and listen to Tupac in college? That's the kind of shit they own over there. Understand that before you take that. Don't come out of that blindsided like, damn, they did me dirty. If you go on Bill Maher's show, don't come out of that like, damn, Bill Maher did me dirty. You got to go on there with the expectation he going to try some bullshit. Right. And that's going to be the clip that he wants to go viral, is the bullshit clip, not the substance of what you were there for, to what you said. That's all. All these platforms are like that, you know? Very few platforms are earnest in their like, hey man, I'm not trying to like get a viral moment. Man, sometimes we do interviews on our show and I'm like, our interviews will never go viral, but I'm okay with that.
Same.
Like, because we didn't try to get you. You know what I mean?
That's not the purpose of the show.
We didn't have that one moment of like, haha, I thought you was cool, huh? No, I'm fucking you. And here's 30 seconds of me fucking you that I'm going to put on my Instagram. We don't do those. So, but the places that do that stuff, you just need to know before you go and be like, yeah, it's going to be a moment and I'm going to have to explain it, and people going to be mad online or whatever, and that's just part of it.
Yes, it is. Be willing to deal with the consequences.
All right, let's see. On YouTube, this one got like double the views of our normal videos and 21 comments. I think it's because I named it that chili jokes.
Yes, so people were looking and it probably popped up in their feeds. Yes.
Sheila says, how can you forget Michael Jackson? And then I just said, because I don't know what she talking about. What happened with Michael Jackson?
I don't know.
Well, I don't remember what I forgot about him.
I don't remember. I don't even remember mentioning him.
Debo says, all facts about Hasan Piker. The left loves him out here, taking up for him always. These lefties suck. Bernie Bros, Brianna Joy Gray. I appreciate you guys. Stay principled. Yeah, and honestly, man, if you like a person that's like super down with that, like the Young Turks, Brianna Joy Gray, Hasan Piker, then that means you should be open-minded enough to check us out too. Like, all I ask for all these people that write us to be like, y'all gotta stop talking, or don't, y'all got it all wrong, just make sure y'all write these other people too.
That's all I'm.
If you ain't never fixed your lips, your fingers to write 7 paragraphs about how somebody got the blackout tips, or somebody has our point of view wrong, but then don't do it the other way, because that's honestly insulting. It is. Write Hasan Piker and be like, this is what you're not understanding about these people that said this is why we should vote for Kamala Harris. Write him. Right. Because I do understand what he's saying and I just disagree, but maybe y'all can change his mind instead of trying to change mine. Damien says, so is it me, or does a good portion of America, MAGA of course, the mainstream media, and some of these celebrities all seem to be suffering from some kind of collective Trump derangement syndrome, group psychosis? I mean, all the things he's put us through his first time should have been enough, but this time he's gone even further and the media has tucked tails and ran the other way. Them and half of Congress has said, please don't act like accountability is on us. Yeah, and I don't know what we do about it. I'm just gonna be honest. Jay says, I can't stand Hasan. I can't stand these lefties that are so left, but without any analysis of their and their families and friends on anti-blackness. These people do not vote in huge numbers. That's why their idol Bernie Sanders didn't win. And you're right, Hasan's currency is what the Democrats haven't done yet. Yeah, they don't produce people to the polls, just internal internet chatter. Same with Mark Lamont Hill. These people used to be so far left you never hear them, but now with social media it's difficult to ignore their presence. Marvelette says, thank you for adding Mark Lamont Hill. Black people think he is all about logic. Since Trump been president, he has been quiet. But when Harris and Biden was in office, he stayed both sided with no solution, pushing Gaza propaganda. He is a Russian paid distraction and Jill Stein friendly, along with Nina Turner, Charlamagne the God, and host of other black talking heads. Ooh, y'all went hard in this.
Somebody had something to say, didn't they?
This someone replied to that. I think you're wrong about lacking analysis, but I don't expect people to watch 8-hour daily streams going back 10 years. He doesn't appear to be audience captured. Most of the clips used to smear him, like the I don't care what black people won was him arguing with a person in the chat. He does that frequently. He fights with leftists in his audience the most, defends trans rights, black people, women, etc. However, he does have moderate pushback. He has given credit to Biden and Kamala Obama when their policies align with his beliefs. On a recent broadcast, he talked about how Obama's best foreign policies were the Iran nuclear deal and lifting some of the sanctions on Cuba. Doesn't have brand deals or even run ads on his broadcast. All his income is subscriptions. Also, he is an active participant in politics, not a passive commentator. Dude just went to Cuba with aid and spoke to their government. He currently is traveling across the country, speaking with colleagues and helping lesser-known leftist Democrats get elected by offering them a platform. I think his popularity stems from his consistency. He was anti-ICE in Israel 10 years ago. Thanks, Avocado Pills, for giving us the facts on Hasan. And I hope he's I bet all that's true, and I hope he's a good person, and I hope he's using this platform in the way that he finds to be responsible. That being said, I really do think if it's just about what are your goals when you go on the platform. I'll just reiterate that. I won't re-explain it and keep going because it's just going to get circular, but just walk over there knowing who he is. That's all. Kim Doc says, I don't want no scrubs or no pigeons on the remix to the remix. Chili can go on somewhere. T-Boz Ben told us. Love you, T-Boz. R. Jordan says, as a husband of 23 plus years, I've retired from birthday cards. It's like sending a stranger to go holler for you. They don't have your game, and they definitely don't say it how you would. Solid gift idea, though. I'm married to a nerd too, and hitting target on the gift is always a win. Yeah, honestly, the card thing, I normally don't do cards. But I was already in CVS for, I think I was picking up Karen's prescription for something. Okay. So since I was already in there, I was like, oh yeah, I walk right by the card section. Why not? I'll do the cards. I'll go pick up the birthday thing. And
Rod's biggest thing, they need to be more diversity in these cards.
Yeah. And honestly, man, being fair, like once I started reading the cards, I was like, this will be a good bit for the podcast. How bad can these cards be? And I just kept opening more and more cards. Like, God damn.
They were terrible.
Husbands are down bad. So.
Yeah, what a writing team. You know what? They probably fired all the writers. They got AI doing that bullshit.
But I feel you. I'm not normally a card person either, and I guess you can always buy those blank cards and just write it in for yourself. But I don't think the card's trying to holler for me. Honestly, I'm like, this is a cute little funny thing, that little jokey joke, and then we just move on. It's never. But I'm not. I don't think I put a lot of stock. No pun. A lot of stock in the cards. I'm not. I don't remember cards from my birthday like that was the one.
Because some people are like card people, like cards are their thing and their jam. And yeah, because like if you normally do like Mother's Day, Father's Day, brother, sister, you can normally find like humorous stuff, like and like not trying, because I've seen it like in all those genres.
But all the humor was I'm a piece of shit.
Right.
For this one,
it's normally in those other genres is comedy, and the comedies kind of can be all over the place. Right. I agree.
He says, before I forget, I hit the hype button on YouTube. No clue what it does, but hey, why not? Your H-Town Connect, Rodney. Thank you, Rodney. Mm-hmm. And yeah, dog, the hype button helps. I don't know how either. I'm just on this YouTube, and they tell me it helps.
Yeah, the YouTubers told us it helps.
Don Wick says, these titles, though. Thank you. Terry H1Y says, Chili making negative 10 cents in that apology. And not cents like CENTS, but cents like SENSE. Like she don't make no sense.
That's hilarious.
A whole MAGA who thinks you are a dummy. I take back my high school age crush feelings. Oh, everybody did have a crush on Chili. Mm-hmm. She was everybody's one. I used to like T-Boz because of the swoop with the hair.
Yes, her deep voice.
Yeah, and when she did the when they did the Creep video, I felt like I don't know for sure, but I felt like I could kind of see some boob.
I think we got under boob too.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but it felt like I seen breast. I was like, everything but the nipple I was seeing. And I was like, T-Boz is the one. Leonardo says, I feel like the same news and the people that have nothing to say about what's going on will just become loud and start to blame Democrats do not fix the problems. For example, the V-shaped recovery that Obama was supposed to produce. Bush tanked the country. We were more mad that Obama didn't bring the economy back in 1 year. These were the same people that said they would do nothing and let it fix itself. I know, man.
They would let the economy crash.
It's a red gang, fam. The black folks business song was dope. Thank you. That's from Leonard Brothers. Midwest says, hi, long time listener of both the Blackout Tips and Hasan. Started listening to each you, and it's long and all this stuff. And this was exactly what I'm talking about. Someone writes us a long thing, like, because
they know they're not going to be able to reach him.
I don't even understand your opposition to this person or whatever. And I was like, that's a very long message that did address none of what we said. And I get that he's a personality. And I get that y'all like him. No one's stopping y'all from liking him or going to listen to him. Go listen to him.
And have a ball.
If we got it wrong, we got it wrong. And this is why we don't really spend a lot of time talking about him. I've seen people say way worse shit about this man. I ain't call him racist, which is something that you put in your thing. You said a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna read it because I want to go through this and point out where we didn't say shit. And I know this is one of y'all's things. Let me put words in y'all's mouth y'all didn't say to make y'all upset.
Particularly for you, they do that a lot.
Right. Started listening to each of you during COVID. Listeners should check out the stream on one time. It is kind of long form politics till we get mad with chat participation. Ever since he made a statement about Gavin Newsom, the media has been attacking him nonstop. I feel like it's undeserved or blown out of proportion. His critique of Newsom is that he thinks he will abandon Democratic voters and policies, marginalized groups once in office. That's our critique as well. Why is that unfair for him to say? He has been consistent on Newsom for X years. It would make sense he would have opinions about the person and how he has governed. Let me just stop right now. Let me stop this right now. That's not a thing we said on our podcast. We brought up Hasan Piker. Did any of us say the words Gavin Newsom? Did we attack him?
Not in that whole conversation.
Not once.
Right.
You listened to us talk about Gavin Newsom. Why did you write this? That's what I want to know. Because if you're not going to listen to what we're saying, don't waste my motherfucking time. We got shit to do too, bro. So, why did you write this? Is this you been fighting with people on the internet?
Yes.
And then we're the place for you to go vent your internet fight with? Because our issues with Hasan Piker are not about Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, that happens a lot. This is not the first person, but you've read things like in the past shows where I just flat came out and go, this comment is not.
It's
for
not
us.
for us.
This comment is for the comment section.
And you
go
write
to the comment section.
And you write so much, and it's not stuff we said. And you have to forgive me, or you don't have to forgive me, but dog, it's offensive to me. Because you don't respect our platform.
No,
if you write up here with some shit people been saying somewhere else to be like, how come we didn't say it? Fuck that. Come on, man, grow up. As a longtime listener, he's not anti-Semitic, anti-black, or anti-Democratic Party. Any clips presenting that were taken out of context, like how my favorite segment of the show, Guess the Race, could be taken out of context if clipped. He explicitly states, I'm not even watching those clips for the record. Because I actually agree with you in that I have avoided the Hasan Piker hate train that I'm seeing on the timeline sometimes, where they take these clips and I see the clips and I'm like, I'm sure there's a context to that is deeper than what this clip is telling me.
Right.
Like they'll take 3 seconds and it's him being like, I don't give a fuck what black people said. And I'm like, I can't imagine that's just who he is.
Agreed.
I just can't, because how did he get so popular? And he says that, and he's popular with a certain type of person that clearly even if they did hold that belief, would not want to publicly be attached to that or to anyone who would say it out loud. It just wouldn't be smart as a brand. So I'm not falling for this. The here's 10 seconds, here's 2 minutes. You know, I've seen clips where like he's clearly responding to someone who said something, but they take the response to make it seem like he just out of nowhere would attack somebody. So once again, I don't know why you would write this to us. We're not propagating these things about him. The things that I do know about him are things I've seen him say myself about how he just literally is not going to vote for these Democrats. Those are his messages he's putting out. If they run so-and-so for president, I won't be voting. And when he does say he might vote for a Democrat for president, it's always somebody that has no chance. Like, well, if it was John Ossoff. So maybe I know a little bit more than you expect me to know. And maybe you are putting words in my mouth from people that I don't even agree with you, and you're making it seem like we did that.
Right.
He explicitly states multiple times in streams his criticism of Israel rests with their Zionist government and policies, acknowledges Black Americans' role in the political movements of the past and present, and collaborated with Black creators, explicitly blames the Republican Party as a true threat to this country and a real enemy. Jennifer Welch of the I've Had It podcast had a very similar opinions and takes as Hasan and the Democratic Party on Israel, but she's not getting lambasted the same way. Neither one of them, once again, things that didn't happen on the Blackout Tips.
No.
Things that didn't happen on the Blackout Tips.
I don't know who that woman is.
You say you a listener, bro. Are you a listener or you just somebody that's just mad? He critiques the Democratic Party by saying he's dissatisfied with Democratic leadership reaction to Trump's presidency and Kamala's establishment Democrats refusing to change their policy in relation to Israel and Gaza during her campaign. He has stated that the Democrats are clearly lesser of two evils and never advocated for a Republican, all of which are popular opinions of the younger people and the Democratic voters. I don't understand other people, and sometimes you're Rod and Karen's opposition to him. What opposition? I said just stop writing us about him. I don't care. It's not an opposition. I literally said go on this show if you want to. Love y'all both. My wife and I listen to every episode, some on Patreon too. I don't think you love us or listen to us if you wrote that. That's not fair what you wrote. And I'm very offended by it. If you care, you know what I mean? I feel like you owe us an apology, bro. We didn't say none of this shit. Like, this is a very important thing. I said this earlier when we started the show. Facts matter, bro. What happened matters. If we was up here being like, man, Hasan Piker, that racist, anti-Semitic, whatever the fuck, then I get you if you wrote in to be like, Rod, that's not true. You just listening to a bunch of people that's out of... we didn't have that conversation. No, and nothing I said, I stand on what I said, meaning at the end of the day, you cannot go on his platform thinking you are going to convert him to some sort of like Democratic operative. You also can't treat him like he's a kingmaker. Like, oh, well, if Hasan Piker supports you, you're going to win presidency. That shit is unrealistic. And Democrat politicians and some people on the internet do talk about him like that. I think that's the mistake. I'm not even talking about what he should do. I literally said, I understand how he should run his brand. I would not advise him to change his brand. I think he would honestly lose footing coming out being like, you know what? I disagree with a lot of shit Gavin Newsom says, but if he ran for president, he got my vote. I think he would lose a lot. He would lose. And yes. I don't think anything you said contradicts what I said about it. I don't hate this dude.
I don't either.
But I do hate being misattributed. And that is honestly unacceptable, man. You got to do better with that. And I get some people get offended when we come back at them like this, but it was offensive what you wrote. You understand? That's offensive what you wrote, because that means you don't listen to us. You went and listened to the internet and came back and put your grievances with the internet on our fucking time. I have time. This is a space for people that listen to the podcast, who care about what we think, who want to give feedback to what had happened on the show. This is not just you writing your blog. If you want to go write a Medium post about how Hasan Piker is actually a dope dude, you should just do that. Mm-hmm. But you don't need to use us to be like, well, some people are saying we not the some people. Mm-mm. None of this shit is shit we said about this man. And I barely know anything about this man. I don't have a reason to hate this man at all. He's not the problem to me. I assume he will like a lot of the same shit we want. The difference between us and the people like this is at the end of the day, if his candidates got on the ballot, I would 100% vote for them without even thinking.
Agree. I would too. Yes.
Whereas if our candidates that we get on the ballot, he's the one who's on record like, I ain't fucking with that. So I don't know why aren't you writing these people to convince them to be more like us? I just don't understand it.
And my thing is, truthfully, until we start talking about that man, I'm not even gonna lie, I ain't know who that man was. Who? And so, a lot of y'all do have listen to us in them, which is fine. And my thing is, for me, as a politician, I personally wouldn't go on the show, but that's just me personally. And it's one of those things where, for me, I'm like, you have to look at how would going on the show benefit you and what are the consequences. Because, like, you like this person, but there are a lot of people that do not like what he's saying and what he represents and how he stands. And they vote too, and they have opinions too. And so the politician is the one that's going to have to deal with the consequences and the backlash of people, and so many people actually vote. Just be like, hey, don't go on here wasting motherfucking time.
Yeah, like, anyway. He did write back, and you know what? He put minute marks. So maybe we talked about it and I forgot. You know what? I'm gonna give you let's go to the full tape. You put, as a black man to listen to your podcast and listen to what you said, and my message was in response to what you said about Hasan. You presented him in a manner similar to the way the mainstream media and Democrat Party leaders do, that he is anti-Semitic, non-serious policy opinions, anti-Democrat, and anti-black. I called this man anti-Semitic.
If someone is going on...
So, for the record, this is what you said. You said we called him anti-Semitic, anti-black, whatever. Let's go see if that's what happened. You put the 50-minute mark. Now, the 50-minute mark is us playing a clip of Ro Khanna answering a question that was presented to him, where the question was, is he anti-Semitic or something like that? Let's see.
Then I will push back right there. So I think the test should be what you say. If someone is going on these programs and not...
Oh, wait. Y'all can hear this, right? I believe y'all can hear this.
I don't know. Let us know if y'all can't.
Yeah, if y'all can't hear it, say it in the chat, because I am playing something. I want to share my screen, but I think y'all will get an echo. Matter of fact, let me see if I just switch the audio so that y'all don't get an echo.
Yeah, they can hear it.
Oh, they can't hear it? Okay, cool. Then I won't. I'll just close this and shit. I just did the wrong thing. Reopen the tab. 50 minutes. All right, let's go.
No, we're not. The point is that we should go on and have tough conversations. Actually, I respect Rahm Emanuel. Rahm Emanuel says he'll go on, and if he makes a comment that I disagree with, then I will push back right there. So I think the test should be what you say. If someone is going on these programs and not pushing back against anti-Semitism, fine. But, I haven't done the background check on you, Chris, and I'm sure there are no crazy comments.
I've not said anything like that, I can assure you that. Where do you draw the line, Congressman? Would you appear on, for example, a right-leaning show, Alex Jones, for example, who has made controversial comments that have enraged people, hurt people deeply in some instances?
Look, there is obviously a line, and I probably wouldn't appear on Alex Jones, but the point is I don't think that line should be with Hasan Piker, who has millions of followers, and largely what his view has been critical of the blank check that we gave Netanyahu in the war in Gaza.
Okay, that's a clip from their show. He said the 53-minute mark. We said something. Let's see what he said. Piker, in it for Hasan Piker to go, Ro Khanna, you came here, you made some good points, and you changed my mind. There's nothing in it for him. That can't happen. He got to always be like, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, we agree. I'm glad we had this conversation. And then tomorrow I'm back to fuck the Democrats and fuck you. It's the brand that you build. I'm sure there's people we can't have or do on here that I'm like, yeah, people would reject that roundly. And they be right, because we did build our brand a certain way. I think that's what people are missing, because politicians, of course, you want to go where the eyeballs are. Like I said, I'm not mad if he said he wanted to go on Joe Rogan's. Honestly, if the dude said he wanted to go on Alex Jones's podcast, I would have been like, okay. I just don't think it's gonna do what y'all think it's gonna do. That's all. Like, to me, it's a waste of time, because ultimately, on the day before the election, Hasan, Piker, and all these people are going to be like, I'm withholding my vote from these folks.
Are they gonna vote Republican or third party?
Your Joe Rogans will, but I mean your people like Hasan, Piker. I'm not trying to be starting no shit, but Mark Lamont Hill, like all these, they're at the end of the day, their brand is I don't join in with these folks.
Right, that's their brand.
I swear to God, what the fuck did I say? Please, like, are you just a fucking liar? Are you just lying to me? What? This is your evidence? I don't understand. Like, what did I prove? Bro, this is what you wrote. You said that we were joining in with calling him anti-Semitic, calling him anti-black. Well,
yeah, we never we personally and the
thing, 53 minutes is the mark you put down to say that.
Yeah, you did, and also the first clip wasn't even us; it was a clip of somebody else talking.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, y'all got it, bro. I promise you. I don't want to talk about this man ever. I didn't want to in the first place. I'm not a we got to go get this man. I truly find this all to be a huge distraction.
Agreed.
From what people, none of this is going to help get us free. It's not going to get anybody elected. It's not going to help us govern. I don't think he's doing bad things. I don't think he's doing bad work. I'm sure his heart is in the right place. That being said, we don't agree on everything, and I don't know what you could want from us more than the honesty you got. And I think it's very dishonest of you to write up here and say, oh, y'all were calling him anti-Semitic and anti-black, and to put those clips that I just played as proof. And was that proof to y'all? What did you hear?
Yeah, I really do think this letter was for somebody else. Like, and people have a tendency to do that.
You right as a black person that listens, you disrespecting the black people you listening to because we didn't say that shit. Can you even admit that? Can you write back up here and be like, dog, my fault. I was a bit keyed up. You can't say that? You know, I didn't. Okay. Anyway, I'm not even gonna finish it. Y'all got it. I'm moving on. This a Hasan Piker free zone, meaning I don't dislike this man. I don't like this man. I don't hate this man. I don't love this man. I just do not find that much like when y'all used to write up here about Van Lathan. I don't want to make our platform the platform of them. I thought I gave a very reasoned response and my thoughts on the topic at hand, and politicians who get mad of like, hey, I understand why this guy would go on his show, and I actually think if you feel that way, you should probably go on some of the shows you disagree with. Like, you should go on, like, if you can go on his show and disagree, you should be able to go on Alex Jones' show and disagree.
Agreed.
That's my opinion. But I don't run their campaigns, and it's not my job to go change hearts and minds. It's their job.
Agreed.
But don't ever write up here again with that. That's a lie. You lied on us. That's all. I didn't call him anti-Semitic, racist, or any of that shit. And that's very, very fucked up. You would put those words in our mouths, knowing we didn't say that shit. That's very fucked up, bro.
Yeah,
you do not respect us or the platform to do some shit like that. You know, I try to come on here and be nice and have an open mind, treat everybody with respect, but I will not let you lie on me. That's disrespectful. And the person that replied to you saying, it's deeply disappointing. Your comments on what Hasan is about is wrong. You should know if you engage with his stuff. I'm a black leftist and I do vote. And this is it for me with the Blackout Tips. Wishing you both the best. I wish you the best too, fam. Bye.
Right.
Get the fuck on then. Have a great life. Honest to God, if you can't listen to the show and hear what we're saying because it's about your fave and you don't understand shit and you just hearing something different than the words that came out of our mouths, peace. Deuces. All the clips of Hasan getting surly with his listeners in the comments, and y'all be like, well, he said that he don't give a fuck about black people. He was responding to a person. Well, now I'm responding to your ass. Fuck on. Leonardo says, I feel like the same news and people that have nothing to say about what's going on will become loud and blame Democrats when they do. Oh, we said that part. Okay, cool. The Black Folks Business song was dope, says Leonard Brothers. Chili Megan, I said that part. Where we at? Mm-hmm. Oh, these titles though, says Don. Oh, I know why they put it in a different order. That's why. Let me go back to the right order. I was like, how the fuck these?
Oh yeah, because one is like newest, and then one is like, oh yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I heard the Meta glasses aren't that much more expensive than regular glasses, says Joseph. Didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Listen, when they subsidize the price by surveilling your ass. Right. They're like, yeah, it's only $10 if you'll let us know what you eat for lunch and where you at
all times.
Brian says, came here for the chili slander, stayed for the Hasan mess because of course I did. Never forgot that this is the same person with 2019 said that America deserved 9/11. Hey man, someone's gonna write a long letter saying that I said that about him when I didn't, Brian. Thank you for that. Now that Midwest dude gonna be like, I'm a black man and I support y'all, and now y'all have to agree with everything that come out of my mouth. Y'all not allowed to disagree with Hasan Piker on your black platform from the black man with the black wife and the black wife with the black husband and the black business. They allowed black folks' business. Y'all not allowed to have that. Y'all got to have the opinions of we love Hasan Piker, or else you part of the Democrats that call him anti-Semitic, even though you never said those words.
They probably are, but they would not us, baby.
Now, while he was walked this back and his fans, apologists will want you to believe that this is a whittle mistake from that he has grown from, not only do I not think that's the case, but to me, it explains exactly who he is and how he operates. Whenever he and people like him get flustered and frustrated, they go for the most vile, stupid, or offensive BS they can think of. This is why I had to step back from watching content like Vaush, Xander Hall and others of their ilk never really mess with Destiny anyway. I don't even know these people. Rod's point,
you deep in the rabbit hole.
Rod's point of saying how they pointed out all his bad qualities but didn't address the anti-blackness is super telling. It's a no for me, dog. Go blue. Yeah, and that's the part that I'm saying is weird for y'all to, and this for the record, I feel the same way about Kanye. Because what y'all are going to say is, Rod, you calling him anti-black? No. I'm saying it's weird to be like, his anti-Semitism, what do you think about that? And Ro Connor's like, he's not anti-Semitic. Okay, that's fair. He don't agree. Well, he's also been accused of being anti-black. It's weird that question doesn't come up. Not so you can be like, well, he is anti-black. But even if you just want to go, well, he's not anti-black. I'd be okay with that. I told y'all, I don't know anything about this man like that. I never assumed he was racist. I've seen people accuse him of a bunch of shit, and it's just, and when I say I feel the same way about Kanye, because I think you got confused. The point I'm making is what I'm guessing. The point I would make even applies to Kanye, meaning these statements keep asking him about his anti-Semitism and making him accountable for anti-Semitism. What about the anti-blackness? Is that not even to be broached? Now, we know Kanye was anti-black. Like, this is not like Hasan Piker where I'm like, people are accusing him of anti-Semitism, and maybe the answer is he's not.
Right. Because I don't know nothing about
people accuse him of anti-blackness. Maybe the answer is he's not. You just said he's not. So I'm good with that. I'm not here to accuse him of anything. I don't know this nigga. I know what he's being accused of and tarred and feathered on the internet by. And that, to me, feels like something that in this interview, if they cared about black people and cared about his standing with black people, they would have brought that up, even this just to say, like, actually, he's not anti-black. We don't even know where that came from. I actually think that would be cool. I actually think that would make him look like a good guy. Because they did it with the anti-Semitism, didn't they? Hey, he's anti-Semitic. Hey, he's not anti-Semitic. That's not true. He just feels like blank. That's it. So anyway, I didn't accuse him of shit. Sinker Fly says the Whistler reference caught me off guard and fried me at the end. Glad you enjoyed it, buddy. Unlike Midwest and the other person that can't stand our podcast anymore because some shit they made up. All right, let's see. Patreon. Let's see if we got anything comment wise. Nothing on the Spotify. We got two. Choco Bean says Francesca Ramsey said the big reason TLC got into trouble is they did the trouble they did is because they didn't read the fine print. So maybe Chili shouldn't continue going around in life admitted to continue not to read the fine print. I'm about to had to lift my jaw off the floor. She said that because she's not wrong. That's hilarious. Also, apparently Chili has been found out even recently on her new boo's IG comments denouncing being called black by anyone. She'll call herself anything but that. That's very unfortunate if that's true. Marvin W says, you don't really have Republicans who make a name hating on Republicans. I don't run in those spaces, but generally we haven't seen it openly since Trump in 2015. Great episode as always. Well, I think what the difference is that Republicans don't have a spine as a general politicians, and that they move to where the complaining is easier. So like when the Tea Party was built on complaining about Republicans, the Republicans that they were complaining about became the Tea Party.
Yep, they bought them in, and they came and they crashed the party, and now the middle, quote unquote, middle centrists or the traditional Republic goes, where these fools come from, and you let them in here, and then they took over your whole goddamn party.
And a certain type of leftist, that is the game theory that they're using on Democrats. And the problem I think they're going to have with that strategy is that Democrats actually are doing this stuff for their morals and values. They're not just trying to retain power. If it was as simple as you said that, hey, Democrats, they just want power too. They don't actually give a fuck about which way anything happens, and they don't care about us. It would be easier because their principles would be more malleable. And so if you just said it's Medicare for all or bust, or you just said it's hey, no, cut Israel off from all aid. If it wasn't a principle thing, I feel like they would. If it was like if they were Republicans, they'd be like, all right, cool, enough people said it. But I think for the Democrats, they get into the nuance of like, well, just got to be a two-state solution or whatever the fuck they do. Yep. This is not me defending or saying that that's the right or wrong. But I'm just saying there's a lot of shit with them where I think they're more likely to stick by what they actually think they believe as opposed to Republicans who just abandon the shit if it's still like a way to stay elected. They'll be like, how many of them are like, I fucking hate Trump, that now like I love Trump?
And Trump has called them out, called their wives ugly, said that they ain't shit, their whole family ain't shit, and they still turn around and kiss his ass and kiss that ring. They don't care.
Yeah. So, and like I said, and the parties have changed affiliations in the past, meaning Republicans used to be the more liberal people, Democrats used to be the more conservative people. The parties changed,
right?
Like, so like it's possible that all this stuff is malleable and can change. I just think you're much less likely to get it from Democrats who are trying to build a coalition, and every time they abandon a principle, there's a group of people that's like, what the fuck was that, Yeah,
and also when you have something that's a coalition like ours, and you start doing shit like that, people the groups are gonna call you out, and and it's gonna be more pushback. They're gonna be like, oh, y'all not coming over here with this craziness, and they love the word established Democrats. And for a lot of people, and I don't mind that, but for them, a lot of times it's insulting. You established Democrats. Well, bitch, what you gonna do? When you get here, you're gonna be established too, right? What the fuck are we talking about?
That's a good point. The poll was, have you ever accidentally reposted something on Instagram? 29% have, 71% haven't. I'm still in the 71%, but it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. I'm gonna accidentally do it. It's just gonna happen. All right, let's take a break and wind down from people lying.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. This is just a commercial break. Relax, sit back, enjoy. This is just a commercial break. Not get the break.
All right, let's see what the next episode is. Hopefully nobody writes in and makes shit up. 3250 Joel Anderson, eight comments on this one.
That was a fun episode.
Appia says right-wing provocateurs became more important because people keep clicking on their content, so they produce more of it, not the other way around. All in the name of being informed. Hateful content isn't information. It's toxic and will affect people no matter what they think. The most outrageous person gets the most attention. This is how we got Donald Trump. I blame the media. The hate has become business and clicks. This is more now than before when there was only Fox News. Do you remember undecided voters every time? No information. They can't ignore the catnip of Trump saying, I don't care if the guy dies. The circle of outrage and clicks continues. Yeah, I hear some of that. I also think some of that is just innately people being attracted to the most, whatever the most provocative thing is in the zeitgeist. And I think a lot of times like conservative or offensive or whatever off the beaten path type of things get more attention. And so the media can only do so much. Like they're not 100% responsible for it, because the media didn't tell you to go find Joe Rogan. People found Joe Rogan, and the media is like, how do we explain this Joe Rogan thing? Like, right, this man has racked up millions of people that follow him, so and he's not on TV.
Yeah, that's like
so
he's
now
doing something. He's a big personality. He has his power. He's in these circles. He's getting paid all this money from Spotify. Like, we have to explain to the public, why is he so huge?
Yeah, so like by that time, it's like a catch-22. But I will say this: none of the media people are as the media people do not seem to. They seem to shrink from the responsibility too. Mm-hmm. Like I absorb and listen to and support and pay for a lot of media people's work. I pay for my Charlotte Observer and shit like that. Like I think that they're very important, but I also think like when you see like Jake Tapper chastise the Biden administration for multiple years until Biden steps down, and then the energy is just not the same for Trump. It's just not. Nope. And in his mind, he might even pass a lie detector test and be like, no, I'm just as outraged. It's not showing up. Maybe it's a whole system. Maybe it's like people aren't booking you on as many shows. Maybe people aren't as interested in you saying the same things about Trump. But if we can't acknowledge the playing field is stacked, then we can't acknowledge the truth.
Agreed. And for somebody like me, it became very, very frustrating to look and see the burn it all down, fuck Joe Biden, fuck the Democrats, fuck them, they can't do nothing right, everything is wrong. Okay, Trump's in office doing everything that y'all told me that Joe Biden was fucking doing, and I don't see you everywhere. I don't see your TikToks, I don't see your YouTubes, I don't see you posting, I don't see the outrage, I don't see the anger. He's actually physically doing the shit that you told me that Joe Biden was doing. The energy is not the fucking same, and you can't tell me anything different from the media to the normal people. You can't tell me anything different.
Ramsey D. Jenga says 5 stars for this entire episode. Please add Joel D. Anderson to the Blackout Test rotation. Larney replied, agreed. 10 out of 10 episodes, one of my favorites of the year. I love that. When we have somebody on the show for the first time and people really vibe with it, that's always awesome.
Mm-hmm. That was fun.
Joda Quee says, amazing episode. Joel fit right into the dynamic, even when y'all disagree. I really enjoyed his seasons of Slow Burn, but it's so nice to hear him be more scripted and relaxed with y'all. He seemed like he would also be a great guest for Balls Deep one day. He probably would. I worry more about that obviously I'm fine with it. I worry about that for people like him because, we be talking about like groupies and people cheating and not taking care of their kids and shit.
We a sports aficionado sports show.
Yeah. Ron Raphael says, excellent conversation. I really enjoy how the Jay-Z part went. Once again, you show why every podcast can't have my loving. I love the line you dropped about people being mad at only the billionaires they don't like. I paraphrased. It's kind of a selective thing. Joe Biden had on the table not only them 1% paying more in taxes, but also a global tax. I didn't see any crowd on Twitter or wherever on it, but I know that a bunch of countries that were quick to shout ceasefire or free Gaza later, when convenient, clutched their pearls at that proposal when he brought it up, just like they did at the first UN address. I can't follow what you're saying. I'm trying, but I'm like, wait, what happened? So the people that was mad, they weren't mad about the tax. They didn't bring up the tax on the billionaires and something about Gaza. Just like they did at the first UN address where he asked for a permanent seat on the Security Council for Africa, the Caribbean, and South America. Ezra Klein got amnesia. There's a saying where I grew up that what you're looking for far away is always right in front of you. I translated it to spare rod. Looking forward to Joel's return. Solid stuff. I did calculate the Nick Fuentes bit. Any of that ilk tries to sneak on feed and the speed with my fingers activate. Even if I'm dozing off, we don't do that here. Yeah, I don't envy Joel's job because sometimes they have to listen to that kind of shit so they can like talk about it.
Right.
And
it's part of the job. Yeah.
I don't want to do that to my brain. But
Not
I've already,
kidding.
you know, that's another thing that's funny about anyone writing us about Hasan Piker. I don't think anyone on the earth has been more clear than me and Karen about we are not interested in having a conversation or a debate anymore. Maybe y'all just didn't believe us when we said it, but like
y'all don't take us.
I know how I'm voting today. I actually don't need to discuss any of this with anybody.
Nope.
I know what I'm going to do.
I do too, and we've said it before, and we said it again, and I will continue to say this. Me and Roger, we was eating dinner or something like that. We had a conversation about this, and I said it before, and I'm gonna say it with my whole chest, y'all. I do not care about a lot of these things because at the end of the day, whoever the nominee is for the Democratic Party, that's who I'm going to vote for. I understand a lot of the other things that are happening. People need those things. People love the entertainment. They love the back and forth. For some people, politics is their fucking sports. Like, y'all love that shit. Like, don't get me wrong. Have a wonderful time. Complain, fuss, talk about their flaws, talk about what's wrong with them, what's not wrong, and do all that shit before the field gets narrowed down. When the field get narrowed down and it's time to vote, bitch, vote. Okay, but vote. Don't matter if you like them. Don't matter if you don't like them. Don't matter if they're a perfect candidate. It don't matter. Vote. And see, that's where it's narrowed down to me. I don't need the show, the song, the dance, the I gotta make you feel good, the stroke my ego. I don't got none of that bullshit. If I could vote today, I would fucking vote, and it will be anybody other than Donald Trump. It's that simple to me. But I understand that I'm different. Like most people, they need all these things attached with it.
I truly don't think you're different. I think you and me represent the vast majority of people. It's just there's nothing sexy or bombastic about what we saying. Like, there's no one's gonna pat us on the back for what we're saying. I think we're saying a very normal thing that most people who vote think. Like it's whatever. I find it more fascinating that people think that we're the ones who need to be swayed.
Right. Don't talk to me, talk to them.
I'm not like I said, I'd have Hasan Piker on this show. I'm not afraid of him and vice versa. I don't think I just have an expectation, like at the end of the day, if I said, if Gavin Newsom is the candidate, I'd vote for him. He'd go, I wouldn't, because he's on the record as saying that. And then I'd be like, okay, well, that's everybody already knew that before we got on here together. I don't even know why anybody's mad. I truly don't. Evie says, I enjoyed this episode. I think one of the reasons why the episode when you interview people are so good is because it don't feel like interviews. It feels like I'm listening on friends having conversations, so it feels so natural. Bring Joel back sometime, because I think he'd be down some of the settings, especially guest race. Oh, absolutely. Sean says, Joel talked about maintaining social mores, but I think we need to shift social mores as they are. The way social mores are set up in the U.S., if you're a mediocre white man, they are great for you, but a more equality focused implementation of social mores would improve social cohesion in the long run. Yeah, I don't know how either one of y'all changed that. Like, even when Joel brought up social mores, I was like, that's just a belief you have to have. Like, I don't share that belief.
Yeah.
So, like, it's like me trying to talk to somebody about, if they said, well, I don't do this because of my religion, I just have to stop there, because that's their thinking I'm not gonna change that.
Agreed.
So if, like, you don't shake women's hand because that's your religion, what am I'm not gonna supersede your God with my super duper logic. I just have to admit, like, I have to say that person's probably never coming around and just move on.
Right.
And I think the belief in social mores, like being stronger than these billionaires, like hoarding and all that stuff, I don't know if it's true, man. I think Elon Musk is one of the most hated men on the planet, and he's not stopping because, like, maybe it bothers him on some level, but it's not stopping his actions. He's still doing despicable shit.
Agreed.
So, you know, and the Jay-Z thing, I think, and it's my own way of coping. It's just, I go, this is who he seems to be. He doesn't seem to be changing. None of the stuff people saying, I don't expect him to sit in the interview and go, I was on Twitter the other day and I see what y'all saying.
Right.
I just expect him to sit in the thing and be like, I think I'm right. I have all the money, all the power, all the fame.
And my steps have proved to me that I'm right.
My wife is Beyonce. I think you guys don't know what the fuck y'all talking about, and I wouldn't change my life because I wouldn't have the things I'm having right now if I did the things you're saying I should do.
Right.
So you should listen to me, not the other way around. But also, if someone offers you $50,000 or dinner with me, you should take $50,000. Even I know that's stupid. Sean says, oh, your discussion on Drew Brees and NFL shit show was amazing. Right after I listened to this podcast, I listened to It Could Happen Here talk about the NFL Players Association and how Drew Brees and that Inflategate bozo led the charge to decrease the entry salaries for rookies, which resulted in ballooning quarterback salaries for a few, but overall a decrease in player salaries. Great juxtaposition of episodes, and fuck Drew Brees and the Inflategate bozo. I know he helped Tampa Bay get a Super Bowl, but that doesn't mean I have to like his punk ass. All right. That felt like more of a thing that you went through.
That felt like a balls deep comment.
I don't even think that was balls deep. I feel like he was like, that was great juxtaposition of the podcast I listened to after your show. I'm like, I didn't know what you were going to listen to. I can't control that.
That's hilarious.
Cali bruh Mike says, bro, you old asses ain't never been nowhere. 4 walls closed in North Carolina till I die. Head ass be triggering my sensitive ass about my city. Man, y'all some mark ass busters. Just joking. But real talk, people who don't live here think that the strip is where everybody lives. And you know what's really fucked up? The crazy shit that goes down on the strip is primarily the motherfucking visitors. Motherfuckers so excited to party, cut the fuck up, bro. This is a 24-hour city where you do and get anything you want. 24-hour dispensaries, restaurants, and a few strip clubs. Motherfuckers wild out and they get around other people who haven't been outside. I can see that.
I can see that too.
Visitors feel like there ain't no rules, and the women here will let you grab them by the pussy or the dick if you into that. No shade. Locals will tell you immediately we don't fuck with the strip unless we come down there for concerts, sports, events, or eating at a nice restaurant. Seldomly.
I guess that's like they downtown.
I assume so.
Yeah.
And the locals who have to come down here works. Man, I'm retired military. I've lived everywhere, especially overseas. I love Vegas and wouldn't live anywhere else because of the benefits of living here. Yes, it gets hotter than a motherfucker, but it's a dry fucking heat. Fuck that humidity. Y'all niggas can keep it. I need the humidity because I could pass out.
I need to sweat.
I have to sweat. I need some signs that my body is going into overdrive because if that's dry heat, I feel like I just be on the ground dying. Like I just go from upright to dead. And they be like, what happened? I don't know. He wasn't sweating. He just laid on the ground and died.
Just passed out.
My daughter goes to a HBCU in Texas. I feel bad saying this, but nigga, I can't wait to leave that shit. 98 degrees and 100% humidity. Fuck that shit. I'm good here. And we got everything y'all got except for them trees and no goddamn mosquitoes. And when did this become a contest? We never shitted on Las Vegas.
No,
are you the next Midwest? You just calling up here to say, I heard people don't like Vegas and I'm going to attribute it to y'all.
I got something to say.
What is going on today? Did y'all miss us? Did y'all want us to not do any more shows? Y'all want us to quit?
They did miss us.
What is happening?
This is hilarious.
They tell y'all love us or hate us.
I think this person loves us.
And no goddamn mosquitoes, and we're income tax free. Y'all do have great culture, and I'm happy to hear y'all talk about it in my air conditioned crib. But if y'all open y'all minds and let the time on the strip taint your perspective, you might like what you see. I love y'all and Foolish Fridays for sure. Hope I can make it down to the event to see y'all. That's hilarious, Cali, bro. And yeah, I didn't have anything bad to say about Vegas, man. I know people go places and they shit on them, but I don't do enough stuff in cities to shit on them.
No, I actually had a great time.
I come with a mission.
Yeah,
I be like, I'm gonna do these two things.
Yeah,
and then we work most of the time, and we was barely in Vegas.
When a lot of times I understand people have, but I was like, y'all, we actually are going to be working, so the majority of this shit we won't be able to do unless we actually go and say, hey, we were going to vacation.
Let's see. Funky Town Stand Up says Easy does it. None of Your Biz says one of the best moves I made in my life was getting rid of cable in 2022. Overconsumption of the news is too easy. I also retired in 2022 from the county government. I was the only black employee and had to interact with the other departments. I would make those departments turn the TV off if I had to work in that space. It may have been an age thing where they were desperate for me to take care of the problems they were calling me for, but they always would comply. Hell no, I wasn't about to sit there, fix your computer with Fox News playing in my face.
Right.
They knew, and they knew that I knew. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit.
Right, play what you want to play whenever I'm not here, but I don't blame you. I woke up in here, bitch, particularly if you asking me for shit, 'cause we not gonna do this.
Christoph says, I don't watch American news anymore, and I've been advising my parents to stop as well for their mental health, but like addicts, they couldn't stop but switched over to Al Jazeera News. Christoph also says, the whole episode felt like black folks, business, and Ball Z Sports all mixed up in one. Longhorn Dynasty says, raise the roof. Alicia says, enjoyed this Free Balls Deep episode. Brian says, good to see Joel here. Came across him from Brother From Another, then Bomani, and now the Ringer Tailgate. But Joel, stop trying to let Van Lathan bully you about Nico Lamalieva. Tennessee didn't fall apart without him, but they also didn't light the world on fire either. His SEC bias is annoying and tired. You should be writing them. What is happening? What is happening? Guys,
This is
write the podcast y'all want to talk to. What is
They
happening?
might have said, P.S. This message is for Joel. That's hilarious.
I don't hate Hasan Piker.
No, I don't.
And I think if you have a problem with people that hate Hasan Piker, you should write people that hate Hasan Piker.
Yes.
I don't. Joe is on Van Lathan's show with Van Lathan. Write Van Lathan. Van Lathan got Twitter. I bet they got an email for the Ringer Tailgate.
They do.
Joe got an email. Joe got Twitter. He be on there fighting y'all. Y'all can't go tell him that.
Nope. Nope.
I don't even know about this bias because I don't watch enough college football to watch
I
the
don't watch
team,
enough
the
college
tailgate.
football.
I don't watch it. If I was a college football guy, I'm sure I would
would
watch
know.
tailgate. And,
Yes.
and Joel is a
That's
great college
hilarious.
football writer from
Yes.
everything I understand. But like that ain't my ministry. So why are you writing me and Karen to tell us? To tell Joel to stop letting. We don't even know if Joel gonna ever hear the feedback show. It's gonna be 3 hours because I had to fuss at that person about Hasan Piker.
I don't give a fuck about athletics. Fuck sports. Shout out to the Balls Deep people.
Boy. All right. Let's see. One comment on Spotify. Byron says, also the Atlanta child murders affected a lot of black parents. Even though we lived in California, my parents became extremely cautious. That is true. That is true. That's a great point. I didn't think about that. 2 comments on Patreon. More than refreshing, says Lola Crump. Thank you, Lola. Glad you enjoyed it. And Natasha says, this was a particularly fun episode with a dope new guest. Man, I love that energy.
That was so much fun.
And the poll was, are you disappointed in Jay-Z's politics? 20% yes, 80% no.
No, I don't care. He can't cast, he can't vote in the Congress or the Senate. Don't care.
Yeah, like I said, I get it, but I don't know. I feel like I would feel foolish it would make me, there's a certain level of having expectations for people who are constantly letting those expectations down that starts to feel like I'm punishing myself. So I just think maybe this my brain protecting myself from being eternally disappointed in people.
Right, and the person that you don't know, you have an expectation for a person that you don't know, and then when that person don't meet your expectation that you put on them, that they don't even know that you put on them, you're disappointed in an action that they could care less about, actually.
And I don't think I get anything out of y'all knowing that I think Jay-Z's money worship and capitalistic sort of leanings are not aligned with my own. I think y'all know that already. You know what I mean? Like, I think y'all
okay.
Yeah, not whether it's okay or not. I just think is like what would me hammering Jay-Z 20 years in a row even mean?
It
you see what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
like I have friends that do that. Like it's been 20 years of them being disappointed in Obama or Jay-Z or whatever, and every time the person like breathes, we got another round of disappointment.
Yeah.
I felt the same way similarly about Drake. where like Drake would put out an album and everyone that was like, why won't he could grow up? And I'm like, doesn't it kind of say something that you've been waiting on him to grow up for 12 years? Why are you still listening? I really don't find it fascinating or interesting that his music is him being a perpetual child, because I just find that to be who he is.
Yeah, right.
At some point I gotta stop hitting play going, it's kind of weird he won't grow up. He's still talking about fucking 20-year-olds. I think we knew.
I think we knew too, and I'm not gonna lie. Most of the people that y'all niggas don't like, I don't even know they have an album out till y'all start complaining. I was like, well, I guess they got an album out because these niggas complaining about the same person they've been complaining about every time their album come out.
All right. Let's see. We'll go to the next one, but let's get one of these beats in here. Let's go with I don't know. Let's go with Abundance. Oh man. Let's go to the next one. It is 351. Nice Sweet People. We talk about our trip and recap it. 8 comments. Rona Raphael says that's to be one of the most fun recaps of a trip and experience to an event that I've ever listened to. I'm really glad that you guys got to enjoy your trip out in Las Vegas along with Pod Jam. All the best to your Hornets in the play-in. We lost in the second one, but it was fun.
It was
the loss was an ass whooping, but I actually kind of low-key feel like we needed that.
Yeah, and even if we would have made it to the next round, we were gonna have a few games where we would just get our ass.
Yeah, I mean, my thing was always like I wanted to play Detroit because I feel like that's who we would have learned the most from.
Yeah.
Because that's a young team that's very physical, that's trying to go somewhere, and seeing the stark difference between like where they at and where we at is just something to build on.
Agreed.
And you get at least 4 chances to try to see if you can find a way to like beat them.
Right.
As opposed to these one and done chances where it's like you could kind of chalk up one and done to like, oh, we had a bad game, as opposed to like, no, we need to work on this aspect of our game.
Agreed.
And I think Detroit would have exposed that. And, you know, obviously your best case scenario is you find some way to beat them, but then that's like a historic like upset we've never seen before. So I wasn't even banking on that.
Yeah, because, it may have happened, but it's rare that 8 beats 1.
Yeah, but it was a fun season, man. It superseded everyone's expectations. Vegas had us 19 wins below where we ended. We added 25 wins to our last season. Nothing but good vibes for me. And the whole like Nick Wright versus LaMelo Ball thing that took over the Hornets like Twitter sphere and all that stuff. I'm not gonna let that bother me. I still enjoy Nick Wright a lot, and even if he's more down on LaMelo than it's to a point where I'm like, that's kind of weird to be that down on a dude who's mostly seems like a good person, but maybe not a serious enough person, maybe an immature person.
Yeah.
I agree with the assessment of he's got to grow up. I think he's been growing up over the years, and hopefully he continues that trajectory.
Agreed.
As well, because he's 25 or some shit, and that's kind of how the league goes. As you lose and get face to face. Anthony Edwards is similar to me. I know someone like Nick Wright wouldn't say that, but I think they're very similar in that Anthony Edwards is very immature at times, and when he loses, it feels like he's taking a lesson, and each year he comes back a little more mature than he was a year before. And him and LaMelo are basically the same age.
Okay, and that makes sense. And also, it's one of those things where, and me and Roger kind of, I guess, never mind, we talk about it on the sports show, but this loss is going to cause players to adjust, make changes. Like during the off season, we talked about there's things that they are going to have to address. That it's not something where you blow it up or anything like that. You're going to add pieces. You might trade a few pieces, but the core of what we have is something good.
Yeah, they got a lot of good stuff going, and I'm thankful and happy and grateful after years and years and years of not feeling good at the end of a season. Now I have reason to look forward to next season and to be like, I expect us to continue to get better in whichever ways that means.
Yeah, and also I think for me, it felt good, even though it was one game, it felt good to talk to the usher and be like, I see you in the next game, because normally when the season ends, we be like, well, I guess we'll see you when the season start back up. So for me, it felt good to be like, oh, at least I get some form of a postseason, even though it's not the playoff. In my mind, it's still a postseason because the season has ended. So it feels good to get a postseason.
And we got that home playing win in the most spectacular, amazing fashion of just about any game I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah,
so,
in person, and that can't be taken away.
Yeah,
Agreed.
We're in a perfect place as fans. Next year is gonna be when the down part starts, because people will have expectations.
Yes, they will.
And if you don't exceed those even higher expectations, it's gonna be a lot more like pressure. But we ain't gotta worry about that till next year. Back to these comments though. By the way, I need the audio of Karen's apology at the beginning. I got a few people I want to apologize to, and I want to send them my official take it or leave it apology to the peasants. Cynthia says, Vegas native here. There's a lot of tourism from Asia, or at least we did before Trump got elected the second time. Anywho, a lot of the gaming themes are centered around Asian culture. If any Asian people are offended by it, they should definitely speak up, because they probably change it. Also, for the alcohol thing, you can buy alcohol anytime of the day, every day of the week, and you can buy hard liquor at the grocery store, and you can openly drink walking down the street, even outside the strip.
And you know what? When me and Roger, because I was telling Roger, because when we was on that bus, I was like, baby, they got like full-fledged foot-long margaritas just walking. I was like, they
but
don't
that
have
was
a brown
the strip
bag. Okay, but yeah.
Yeah, I was like, maybe the strip.
I see what you're saying.
Cynthia
Yes,
is writing in to say even if it's not the strip. Yeah, because I was telling you
I can see that I see
on
what
the
you're
show.
saying.
I was because
it's visitors. I see what you're saying.
Right.
So you could see it being like, hey, it's just in this little designated area, right? I'm with you now.
Karen has a tendency to say things with a lot of authority and in blanket ways that make me uncomfortable, because we do the show and y'all listen, and as you can see, some of you have no problem making shit up and saying we said it. So I try to be particular about what we're saying.
Yeah, that's why you take that really personally.
So
I'll
stop to be like, I don't know that that's true.
That's true.
But I'm not saying it's not. But I'll stop to be like, I don't know that you can drink anywhere in Vegas at any time. But
I see what you're saying.
I do. But we did see that on the strip, motherfuckers was drinking.
Yeah, they
But
was.
I just, Charlotte, we have like a certain Noda and South End where they have areas of Charlotte where you can walk and drink. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. But like if someone told you, you can walk and drink in Charlotte, they will get you arrested. Yeah. Like if you on just Tyvola drinking and walking down the street, police will lock you up.
They be like, hey, what you doing?
So that's all I was trying to be careful of, and I'm glad somebody who lives there could come in and say this is what the rules are, because I don't want none of y'all listening and being like, Rod and Karen got me in jail one day, you know.
Thank you, baby, and that's interesting what you said about the slot machines in Asian and stuff like that. I just thought it was weird.
You just can't loiter anywhere with alcohol. You can you have to keep it moving. So that's the rule. Okay, so you can't just like sit and chill and sip.
Right.
I often forget this isn't common for most of the country. Whenever I travel, alcohol is critical to Vegas culture. Oh yeah, that would be weird being from Vegas, and then you go somewhere and you're like, yeah, let me go get a bottle and sit in the park or walk through the park, and then it's like you going to jail.
Mm-hmm. Or you go somewhere like early in the morning on a Sunday and be like, hey, they be like, we don't serve alcohol. We can't serve you till 10.
Well, that part I think, I think it might be weird to you, but you won't get in trouble.
Oh no!
But like,
in trouble.
Can you imagine you go up in a place where like you can walk and drink everywhere,
I see,
and then you just visit somewhere else, and maybe that's just like a thing you do, and now it's like that's a jail sentence,
right?
Like that's got to be a little. I wonder if that's ever happened to people. It's like you get to the airport and be like, obviously I can drink and
they like, no,
like, what the fuck are you doing?
Not here, you can't.
It's like you at the bar like, all right, well, I'm gonna take this to go. They like, what the fuck you mean to go?
We don't do to go cups. You better drink it before you hit that door.
Even at community events, there's going to be an alcohol vendor. It's sad, but living here, you don't think twice about it. Wow.
Yeah, you have to think gambling and alcohol kind of go hand in hand, because you're drunk, you blow money.
The desert sun is harsh in the daytime during the spring and summer months, but when the sun goes down, it's the best. Glad you all enjoyed yourself. Yeah, we can see the stars at night. It was nice out there.
Yes, it was beautiful.
Sean says, I was thinking it was related to the fact that Chinese were among the first people to settle Vegas and thus were a deep part of the history of the town. In Japan, drinking alcohol in public is also common, and people often grab a train beer on the way home. They also grab a bench in the park and go to town. I find the idea of open bottle laws frankly upsetting now that I have the perspective. It seems like a law based on religious beliefs, which would make it unconstitutional, First Amendment and all. On religious beliefs. I actually think it's backwards, because I don't think the Bible's too against the drinking alcohol. Jesus turned water into wine, right? I think I watched a documentary by Ken Burns on prohibition.
Yes.
And what I think happened is these men were getting so addicted and sloppy and abusive and all this stuff off of drinking every night that the women use religion to appeal to their higher nature to get the stuff prohibited.
Yep.
And so prohibition is based on quasi-religious reasoning that is not necessarily biblical. That's what I think happened.
I watched that documentary with you, and women all across the country like, hey, we tired of our husbands getting drunk. Like we need a period of time where they not fucked up. So, depending on where you were, they actually, started lobbying and stuff. But like, hey, let's do Sunday after church, or, or whatever the case may be. In some states, North Carolina, they kind of are more lenient now because we have people from other parts of the country that started moving here. It was like, hey, these laws are dumb. And I personally think within the next so many years, North Carolina will probably be one of them states where they be like, hey, we can make money. Because the thing is, we talking about like mimosas and people do brunch and things like that. You fucking up people's money.
Well, they've already changed some of the laws on Sunday.
Yeah,
it can happen further.
And I think eventually it's gonna be like some of the other states where like any day of the week you could.
It'll be
go.
Interesting to see how it goes, man. The other reason I say it's not really religion, because all those laws also use racism and said, well, if black people get the alcohol, they'll become rapists.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's like I said, I don't think it's really religion. Abia says, I'm glad that the show went well. I thought about coming one day when you do a live show, but it must be in different political times. You can also buy alcohol here in every supermarket at every hour, all the hard stuff. So it is this way like Vegas, but that's probably the only way. Sean says, the one annoying thing about medicinal shops in Germany is you have to show proof of residency before buying anything. Abia says, for alcohol, you need nothing. You just have to be an adult. Eve says, I'm so glad you had a great time in Vegas and everything went without a hitch. I hope this brings you more fans and more prosperity. Vegas is one of my favorite cities that I visited in this country. It's so fun, and not just the gambling. I'm not much of a gambler, and once my $20 is gone, I'm done gambling. But as a foodie, Vegas is one of the top food destinations in the world because any kind of cuisine you want, they have it.
Yeah, people rave. Yeah, we didn't get to try a lot of we ate some food places, but yeah, next time we go, I would love to like visit some of the food suggestions.
Yeah, I think if I went strictly for a vacation, I would definitely eat different and more food, but also, man, vacation ride is just not getting to the food like that, y'all. Vacation ride is so buttoned up with like the food because I don't want to get sick. I've been burned a couple times, and and also I don't really be hungry like that on vacation where I'm like I can eat all day. Like it's more like I heard this restaurant's good, I'm looking forward to that on Saturday. That's how I approach vacation. Not I heard they got 17 good restaurants and I'm gonna hit up 17. I'm more like I heard they got 17 good restaurants and I'm gonna hit this one. I gotta have that, but if it's vacation is normally like 1 or 2 a day type of thing. So it's like if we were there for 7 days and we were just vacationing, we would probably eat 5 to 6 places that were cool, but it'd be like 1 a day maybe. Let's see. I done one thing though. I will not go on vacation and eat like McDonald's and Burger King and shit. That's
nigga, I refuse. I get that shit at the house. Like
that's just bullshit.
Like not so funny. I am one of them people where I'm like, bitch, why? If I could eat it at the house, the fuck? Why did I spend all this money to come out here to eat some shit I could have ate at the house? That's dumb.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I gotta try something.
Right, something local too.
Something that I can't get where I'm at.
Agreed.
Let's see. Plus, this is where all the top chefs in the world have their restaurant. It's foodie heaven. entertainment. Plus, it is a spectacle, and you are people watching like me. You're never bored. There's a restaurant on the Strip called the Heart Attack Grill where you can eat free if you weigh 350 plus pounds. And there's a big scale in the front of the restaurant. I stood outside for at least an hour watching people weigh themselves. Only downside was all the meth heads, but other than that, I wouldn't do it again. Meth heads be wearing. I feel like meth heads be skinny. Oh, they just be out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I see what they were saying. Like
I thought you meant meth heads was standing on the scale.
No, like they'd be like around, and you'd be like, why are you here?
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I feel you. Yeah, that's interesting, man. That's interesting. That's like a humiliation ritual. Like, you gotta weigh yourself. You fat enough to eat for free. It's like you gonna go eat for free, but you like, I have to get myself. I gotta get myself under control. Anyway, give me one of them heart attack burgers.
Mary brought up something like she was talking about how certain McDonald's like internationally have different things. Like, I would go try those items.
Oh yeah, I do that.
But those items aren't like American.
I'm
right?
not. If it's whatever they sell in Charlotte, I'm not traveling to eat that, is what I'm saying.
Ain't that the truth?
That's all I'm saying, guys. If they sell Big Macs in Charlotte, I can't get a Big Mac in Japan. I'm sorry. It got to be different. It got to be like, we got green soy burger, Big Macs with anime, Naruto. I'm like, okay, well, I would eat that.
Yes, I would eat that, yes.
Chubb Zero says, me and the wife went to Vegas in 2024 to watch Nas perform his first album, Illmatic, with the Vegas Philharmonic Orchestra. It was the 30th anniversary of the album. He performed at the Wynn, and we also stayed there. It was amazing.
I bet it was. The Wynn's
amazing.
that looked like a beautiful hotel. I was like, ooh, I bet that's expensive as shit.
20 comments on YouTube for this episode. Which also had a lot of listens.
Yay!
Sheila says, hey Rod, Karen and Rod, the slots are not racist. It's Nevada, baby. Also, Asians love to gamble. Same thing in Reno, Carson City, and Tahoe. Glad you enjoyed your visit. Hey man, y'all telling me it's not racist. I'm just saying the people that wrote that are not Asian. I'm not saying y'all wrong. I'm just saying it would make me feel better if the Asian delegation weighed in to be like, hey,
right.
It's cool with us. But I also understand, Asian people have a different relationship with race in America. And so
yeah, they do.
Stuff that might be offensive to a black person, it might not be offensive to them. So I'm not, My mom says the coat sacrifice, sky full of elephants moment, great synopsis of the Vegas trip. The driver Becca had taken you both to the event, sky full of elephants moment. She been reading Sky Full of Elephants too, guys. Great book, by the way. And yeah, I think we was hanging out with them, and I was just like, this is amazing. We're having such a great time. Everybody's so cool and comfortable with each other. And it's like, when do we have to kill a person? I was told that liberal people
we
have to
make
sacrifice babies or something. This is what QAnon said. Ramsey DH Dunn says 5 stars, especially for the story about the gift bags. You two deserve everything except baking soda and radishes.
No baking soda, no more baking soda toothpaste. I veto that.
JJ Smile says, I love listening to the show. I miss listening to the regularly scheduled program last week. However, Rod, why are you always telling on Karen? At this point, I believe this is all a scheme that Todd set up to come to Karen with the bullshit. Todd tried to set Karen up at the airport. Love you guys, great show. And I said, who is Todd? And she said, Todd is Candy from the Real Housewives and Escape ex-husband. The line is from Real Housewives where one of Candy's aunts accuses Todd of being a scammer. Also, Justin, I know he knows the reference. I said, oh. And she said, exactly.
Justin would be on, that's Justin's jam.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I appreciate it. I just fell off of Real Housewives, so I didn't see that episode. But, that's hilarious. Shay says, 3-hour show in my best Karen voice. Oh, y'all had something to say. Wait till you hear this one. Right, I had something to say, and it was lies about me hating Hasan Piker and calling him a racist anti-Semite that I never said. I'm curious if the dispensary edibles hit as hard as I heard, or did y'all just need food? I guess both, maybe. I didn't feel like, I put it this way, the ones we got, I didn't feel like they were super powerful. Like,
no, they weren't powerful.
I don't want, like, my goal is never to be like out of it.
Nope.
I know some people like to be out of it. Like, they want to be completely fucking like, I just want to zone out and stare at the wall.
I want to be able to function.
I like to be able to function.
Same. I like to be able to function.
So, But yeah, they weren't too strong, and now they weren't too strong. They were great. Brian says, hey, you know what, I'm just happy to be a small ongoing part of the Black Guy Tips lore, even if it's just a tiny part. If I can get to the level of parasocialism as the Appy and Chet Hanks crush and the Appy and the EVEB for even the long-standing Arby's discourse with a side of chicken and waffles, then count me in, family. I ain't gonna be too many more bitches though. Yeah, because Karen did call him a bitch. BS aside, I literally love the way LaMelo was chirping at Stewart. Win, lose, or draw, I look forward to the playoffs this year. LeBron versus KD. Can OKC repeat? I will SA San Antonio make some real noise. And even if Detroit for real, will Boston flex their muscles and will the Knicks elevate? For real, as long as Denver nor the Knicks win, I'm just a fan rooting for my boys. Yeah, good luck, man. I really like that Detroit team, man. I know Cade's back.
Yeah.
Hopefully he looked back too. Like it don't look like he came back and it's like, but my ribs and my minutes.
He looked like back.
Yeah.
Because I think his first game back was against us and he bust our ass. He gave us the business.
And I love Cade's game. I didn't want to fall into the thing that people were doing where it was LaMelo versus Cade for like 2 years and people was trying to like shit on Cade. Because I think during that 2 years was when y'all had that very, very, very long, like one of the worst records in the NBA for 1 year. And people was like, see, Cade Cunningham ain't no star. And I, being a person that roots for a bad team and seeing y'all, I was like, I don't know. I could kind of see this shit coming together a little bit.
Yeah. And for me, it's actually inspiration for the Hornets because it's one of those things where, if they could kind of turn it around and how we've kind of turned it around, because things happen, people get injured, hurt, whatever the thing may be. But if you have the players are dedicated, the organizations are dedicated, the coaching staff, like if everybody's dedicated, you can actually roar and turn it around. We are a prime example of that because at the beginning of the year to now, nobody would have ever thought we would be where we are.
Yeah. Anyway, I love the Pistons, and I love that their style of play is so physical. And yeah, I kind of wanted y'all to play us and to see where we stood and what we need to work on. And we still kind of got that though, because I feel like that y'all played Friday night like y'all don't want this. That last Friday, because we watched that game in Vegas, and we was like in the hotel watching it, and the way they beat us down was y'all don't really want these problems. And I was like, you know what? I do want these problems for the record. But like, I want to learn from these problems.
Yeah.
Somebody got to bully us or we never going to be able to get to see where we really stand.
Agreed.
4-letter word says, I say this with the utmost love and kindness, but has Karen considered seeing a therapist? They can help with anxiety and assuming the worst about how you are going to react when your behavior hasn't warranted it. One of the biggest things I've learned in therapy is how our adult behaviors and fears relate to our childhood experiences. Over the years, Karen has talked about her upbringing. I think therapy could be really beneficial for her. All right, 4-letter word. Thank you. Let me move on for Karen call you a 4-letter word. R. Jordan says,
I am not, I'm not going to call you 4-letter word. And I have seen a therapist before. And it's one of those things where half of the issue is acknowledging that it's the issue, type of thing, and being more aware in real time, that is happening. And so my thing is I need to click to something's happening and it's triggering this. Calm down, breathe. You don't have to spiral. It's gonna be all right, type of thing. And like that's kind of where I'm at now for it, kind of like not trying to find in the process of it, because truth be told, my anxiety and stuff rose, but it is nothing compared to what it used to be. Like it was more of a calm panic versus before it would have been completely different.
All right. R. Jordan says, regarding Karen's TSA number, best apology ever. Karen should put that on the card. My bad. I'm sorry. Joseph says, those gifts are top tier. I'm glad y'all had a great trip. Cassandra. She's this is Cassie. She says, you guys were so amazing. So glad you and so many of your listeners came. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, baby.
Well, listen, I was just I was happy when some people showed up that, like, not no disrespect, obviously, but I was so happy when some people was like, we just here to see the Blackout Tips. I was like, we contributed something, because they're not going to just get up and leave.
We asked
That means they gonna stay. They
something.
gonna see Pete. They gonna see watch out. They gonna see JL. They are helping to make this thing work. They pay money.
Something to the pot.
We are not losers.
No, we are not.
Now, how many people? I don't know how many. I don't
know.
I don't do the math for the money. I'm just happy that it was like not zero. That would have felt terrible if we would have showed up and it would just been people like, we've never heard of you, but we were coming for Pete anyway, and nobody's ever heard of you, honestly.
And the people that was like, I'm gonna do it on Zoom. Shout out to y'all too, because
yes,
y'all
I saw y'all.
matter also. Because we could actually see the chat.
I saw some of y'all.
Yeah. So I appreciate that, and truthfully, no matter from our first time in DC to now, people have literally came for us. I think the first time we went kind of outside in DC, I think that one was the wildest because I didn't know what to expect. And
Awesome Con, yeah.
Awesome Con, yeah. And so from there, I was like, oh, like people actually do
we are
fuck
fans
with us.
We seem like we got fans. We have some fans everywhere. How many out you don't know till you go.
Right, you don't know.
But we do have some fans everywhere. We're not like a can't miss type thing. It's not like we could sell out, big arenas and stadiums or nothing. But like you get us a bar, a few tables, we do all right.
And we can make them laugh.
Fagir M9Y says, what time is Bomani ATL show May 15th? There's no time listed on the website. It's at 8. And I told them that, and then they listed the time on the website.
Okay. So
the tickets are in the show. The link for the tickets is in the show notes.
Yeah, and get them fast, because when Bo start pushing, them bitches gonna sell out, and I don't think he's doing any type of recording. It's gonna be you got to be to experience this.
Cassie says, we had Pod Jam 2 at Sunset Station in 2025. Then I wrote them back, and when they inquired about us going there again for Pod Jam 3, our group's leader was really not excited to give that much money to the Fertitta brothers, who are part of the oligarchy ruining our country. What?
Oh, I did not know that.
Crazy fact. Tillman Fertitta, don't he own the Rockets?
I don't know.
I think he owned the Rockets. Hold on. Tillman Fertitta Rockets. I feel like he owned somebody. He the chair. Yeah, he the owner of the Rockets. Wow. Man, all the sports owners bad people though. Huh?
All the basketball team?
Yeah, the Houston Rockets. Yeah. But he's in Vegas, but he own anyway.
Okay.
His net worth is $10.8 billion. It would take someone spending $10,000 a day every single day not for 10 years, not for 50 years, not even 200 years, for 2,958 years. If you up it to $100,000 a day, an amazing yearly salary every single day, it would take 295 years to spend his $10.8 billion. That is an insane level of wealth, she says. I think the people at Sunset Station were amazing. You were so helpful. So I hope you guys are getting decent raise from these guys. We're going to take a look at smaller businesses to hold our event, but I really thank you for checking in. Nah, that's cool, man. Like I said, I did not know that about Sunset Station. Cassie knew all the stuff. We wasn't from there, but Cassie was like, yeah, so this restaurant,
Don't go there.
You don't want to do that.
You don't want to spend your good hard-earned dollars at that joint.
One thing about being from the South is like I'm almost immune to it.
I hate to be like this,
it's so fucked up down here that you literally just wouldn't
go nowhere.
You wouldn't really be able to eat or buy groceries and shit if you just wanted to be a good person all the time and be like, I'm only fucking with good people. So I think I'm almost immune to the shit. Like I'll never eat anywhere I feel bad about going to eat. So
agreed.
If I feel bad, like I'm like, oh nah, I'm not going in there. But like, I don't know, if I go in a place and it seem like everybody is on the up and up that's in there, I normally just be like, okay, this is what I'm doing today.
Now, one place, the management changed. It was this one place we went to, had a terrible experience. And every time we passed that place, I would go, fuck that place. I was angry at that place for years. And every time Roger suggested that place, I would say, fuck them.
But that's not what she's talking about. I don't know those people politics. I don't know who owned that place.
No, it was just
we didn't go there because we had a bad experience. That's totally different.
Right.
I've been in restaurants where they did something that made me feel like this is racist and I won't go back.
Agreed.
I'm saying, if I'm in a restaurant and then somebody's like, so and so owns that restaurant, I would be like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Like it wouldn't even register to me because how fucked up shit is down here.
Right.
It wouldn't even register to me to be like,
okay.
well, we boycotting them. I just be like, okay, yeah.
I agree, because one of our favorite places that closed was like that. But if you go in the inside, it was straight LGBTQ and all over. It was all over the rainbow.
That's the weirdest part about these rich people. That I know it's money, and I know that the reason is probably just they want to hoard their wealth. I know that's what the reason is, but it still bothers me, or I still can't understand how they contribute to so much hateful shit or stuff that they know will be hateful, and then you go in their establishment and it is a place that is inclusive and diverse. I'm like, so well, you just that fucking greedy?
Right.
Because you clearly, like, if you own the Rockets, you know you can't be like the dude that used to own the Clippers, where it was obvious he was racist even to his players.
Right.
Like, if you own the Rockets or the Dallas Mavericks and you give all this money to Trump, but then you like got Pride Night and Black History Month and it's just, I don't know, man. People, racist rich people are just fucking weird to me.
Yes, it is, because you be fucking up experiences for people.
You got all the money to not have to do any of the racism.
Right.
You could just be like,
You
I'm gonna
keep it
be
to
rich
yourself.
and not like my shit is just gonna be that I'm rich and I don't fuck with people. Like no one, it's America. No one's even really coming for you just for being rich. Like
nope.
Some people will be like, kill the billionaires, but for the most part, people actually aspire and look up to people that have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So why be a dick about it? I don't. Anyway,
agreed.
Rev TD Kim says, this is my favorite episode. Karen at the airport, y'all at the rig breakfast spot, the Kool-Aid, the handling the time zones, and most of all, the way you all banter about the love and appreciation you have for each other all made this the best three podcast hours I've heard. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Hate that we're following it up with another 3-hour one, but there's the breaks.
Back to back. We
gotta respond to y'all stuff.
Yeah, we do.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Even if people want to write in the lie. Let's see. Patreon, 2 comments. Roger that says, oh my God. LOL. I glanced at the episode pic thinking, why is Dump tall as hell? JL is the GOAT dumpologist. Yes, because it was JL is one of the people in the picture with us and Pete. And Wajahat, I think, was in the pic too.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nadine says Rod the chivalrous did not leave his wife behind as he sailed through pre-check. My husband definitely would have left me to fend for myself when we went to Chicago a few years ago. Oh damn.
Oh no.
He was like, your pre-check ain't working. That sucks for you. I will see you on the plane if you make it. If not, have a good one.
Oh no. Child, Roger got to live with me. That when I tell you, he knew that would not have went well. You better not leave me out here by myself. No, nigga, we all going through the broke line together.
Have you ever been to Las Vegas?
Don't
Yes.
you leave me by myself.
Have you ever been to Las Vegas? 70% of our audience has been to Las Vegas. Only 30% hasn't. That is almost shocking. I wonder how many other cities we could do that with where we would get those results. Wow. Like, I don't even know if you get that with New York City.
Place. No.
Las Vegas.
And
wow.
it's probably because it's a destination.
Of course.
And a lot of people, probably, because you hear people talk about it long time, like years ago, and how it's changed over the time. So a lot of people probably went in their 20s and their 30s, like during that time, and depending on how old you are, at some period of time you've experienced, some people have experienced it multiple times.
Oh, I forgot to read the comments on Spotify. Sorry. J Damo says, I'm confused because my known traveler number for TSA pre-check does have numbers and letters. It actually mostly is letters. Hey, man, good luck getting through pre-check. I hope it works out for you. I just know that shit didn't work for us.
I hope it do, too, because, child, I gave Roger all of the numbers, and he was like,
J Damo says, oh, my God, y'all, I'm at the dealership getting my car serviced, and I just overheard an older white man ask this 20, 30-something young black woman about how to do something tech-wise. She said he needed a specific cord to do what he was asking about. Reminded me of the flight attendant instructing the older people to ask the younger for the help with the downloads.
She came on that intercom. She was like, I'm just letting you know, I don't know how to do it.
Victoria says, I appreciate your podcast. You two had the ability to make it seem like your listeners are right there with you. I have never been to Vegas, but I felt like I was a stowaway in your luggage. Now, glad you had a good time. Yes, I also found you guys from Karen Hunter's show. Also, I just saw a picture of you two, Rod. You look exactly like you sound, and Karen is too adorable. Hugs from Concord, North Carolina. Thank you, Victoria.
Oh, thank you, baby.
That is so nice of you. People always say I don't look like how I sound.
Shout out to Karen Hunter.
Cheyenne says, I'm glad Rod tried the slot machine. I visited Las Vegas in 2024 and was too intimidated to try the machines at the airport or hotel. You know what? But you was the one that was right, because I tried it and it failed. I was like, I should have just kept my dollar in my pocket.
They gave us a receipt and we left it there. Somebody else got that free money.
Shady Dane says, I was listening to this recap, smiling, lifting my feet up in the air. Like I smiled for 3 hours straight. It's so great that you guys were seen. Like as adults, we often don't acknowledge the need for other adults to just see who the fuck we are. The gifts that they gave were perfectly suited for you guys. And even as a person that's been listening for over 10 years, they nailed y'all perfectly. Vegas is one of the best food cities. It's so great that you enjoyed it. Thank you, Shady Dame. And yeah, man, it felt great. Honestly, the top flight. I'm like,
we were very taken
like
care
this
of.
isn't even about a black guy who tips thing, meaning like if they did this every year and they picked a different podcast every year and that podcast reached out to us and was like, yo, should we do this? I would 100% be like, y'all should definitely do it. Like not as any benefit that we're getting out of it, just like this was a wonderful thing to be a part of. They showed a lot of love and appreciation, it's just good to know that there's people out here that give a fuck about that in this time, and to be around some good people that you feel like it feels like a family, like you being led into a group of people that's like about good things. All right, one more break and then we'll finish recapping the final episode of the week. Let's just go with this one. It's called Banger.
If you talk to the average teenager of today and you ask them what it is about music that they like, the first thing they'll say is the beat, the beat, the beat, the beat, the
beat. All right. Episode 3252. Megan Good rehomed her cat. Obvious says, I thank Rod for mentioning Siegfried and Roy in a respectful way, as in Masters of Show, and honoring the heroes of German culture. As far as I know, they were not problematic, but I'm afraid to Google. Shout out to Siegfried and Roy. I mean, it is kind of hilarious that tiger attacked them, but
the tiger, but it,
they good people and they helped. They
built Vegas, because a lot of people, for decades, I don't even know if they're still going or not, but that was people's jam to go there and see them.
And they put the money up and the tree up or something for like the site of the memorial for those people that got killed in that when that Las Vegas hotel
when we went on
had
that
that mass shooting. Shout out to Secret Roy. Evie says, I almost felt bad for Tamara by how quick she was swarmed by people on Threads. People have always called her the white twin and Tia the black twin, but like I said, almost, because then I remember that she can't be married to someone like her husband and not share some of his views, and he's said some problematic stuff over the years, and so is she. As far as I'm concerned, Tamaga is a suitable name for her. I don't know what their brother Taj's politics are, but their youngest brother Tavion seems to be on the right side of history. Megan Good is so disappointing, giving up her cat for Jonathan Majors. Didn't that fool recently get hurt on the set of a movie funded by Ben Shapiro? That's the word on the streets. They are both going outside. Hope that cat is in a new home without corny people. YouTube
hilarious.
Joseph says, so funny that Brandon is doing High Black History because Tidra Moses just announced she's partnered with a doctor named Chandra Macias to release a cannabis product. DGF says that honey baked ham tavern club sandwich with champagne mustard is the bomb. Honey baked ham and the spiral slice ham was invented in Detroit. What up, though?
Oh, that sounds delicious. We might have to get it for lunch one day.
Christoph says, only child here as well. I thought I was the only one who have conversations loud by myself. Your mama to you says sadder than a broke dick dog. Rod Dontavius Morrow, the way I hollered. Thank you, sir, for this phrase that I'll be incorporating immediately into my lexicon. Damien says, great episode. I always enjoy when Brandon is on. The first place I go on vacation is the dispensary. Everywhere else can wait. That's true. Gotta go in the right state of mind. Rev TT Kim says, I appreciate the comments about Chappelle. It will be a long time before I can hear him without hearing what he said about trans folks. P.S. Karen was a hoot. Let's hope Judge Mathis never had to beg again.
He was begging.
Baby, I'm begging. Let's see. Megan Good episode on Patreon. One comment. Roger that says, I haven't rehomed my cat yet, but thanks to Karen, I'm considering it.
That's what it sound like. It sound like it's a waxing.
And the poll was, because there's nothing on Spotify, do you think rehomed her cat was a sexual innuendo? Karen and Brandon seem to think it was. 22% of y'all are Karen and Brandon. Y'all like it is to me. And 78% of y'all are me, who thought she literally rehomed her cat.
I'm so glad Brandon was on there, so I didn't feel alone. I kept saying, we talking about her coochie, right? What is we doing here? She rehoming something? I don't understand. Why am I getting weird looks?
I'm glad he was here too, because I don't want you to feel alone. And at the same time, I can't lie. I'm not gonna get on here and sully myself by lying and pretending that I get it when I don't get it, because I have to have some standards. All right, let's go to the voicemails. And I won't even take a break here. We'll just go straight in.
Okay.
Rod and Karen, hey, and Black Guy Who Tips Nation, hey y'all. This is Caritha at Prof. Corey. I'm just giving y'all a call because, you know, I keep thinking about what Rod always says when covering stories on, you know, about student protest, that, you know, whatever your fight is what your fight is. Like, there's no reason to denigrate what students are protesting at different universities. And I just keep hearing that and appreciating that, because I am very much trying to, now that I'm in Massachusetts, this is the end of my third year here. My God, time flies. You know, getting my bearings and just really trying to support people on the ground. You know, the majority of my support really has been for faculty of color who are facing all kinds of attacks because they do work that, you know, Trump and his allies do not appreciate. And just faculty of color in general. We're not supposed to be in these positions as far as our fellow Americans are concerned. So just trying to support professors who are in a less stable position than I'm in has definitely been keeping me really, really busy. But I've also become much more active in the union, AAUP, American Association of University Professors, since I got here, and trying to get my bearings with that and supporting those efforts. But yeah, I just think, I just have been thinking about a lot this idea that you just don't want to give up ground. Whatever it is that the larger system tries to tell you is unimportant and trivial, it's at the same time that they don't let anything go, right? They want to control every aspect of our lives.
Yes.
And so we shouldn't be fooled by that. And so, yeah, there's battles to be fought on every level, on every front, and there's no reason to just give up the ground without a fight. So y'all are just always in my head on that. And just in general, just, you know, just checking in with the Black Guy Who Tips Nation. Just excited for y'all and your Pod Jam thing. And, you know, I have my virtual ticket and all that. And, you know, in the midst of it,
she got cut off, but she called back.
Okay.
It was real short.
Of course, I got cut off. So just saying that in the midst of it all, Just thinking of y'all and sending good energy. And yeah, looking forward to when the semester is over. Catch y'all later. Bye.
Which should be soon, right? May.
Mm-hmm.
Got like May. 1 more month of dealing with this bullshit, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think my biggest thing, the work that you're doing is very, very important, because when it comes to universities just all across the country, there are certain like whole departments that they want to get rid of. African American history, Indian history, you know, Asian history. Like there's people who actually get like degrees in like specific, like my degree is in this field. And so shit like that matters. And not only that, there are kind of subgenres and all kinds of shit that's related to that. And you have these people who have dedicated their whole entire lives to studying this and learning this and educating their students and educating other people about shit that for a lot of people, not so funny, they don't give a fuck about, because if they knew, they wouldn't say the shit that they say, they wouldn't vote the way that they do, they wouldn't be as ignorant as they are, you know, because, you know, y'all be knowing, you know, depending on your level of education and your degree, like y'all be knowing stuff where you like, hey, this has happened before, it can happen again, y'all need to pay attention, you know, all the things and the moves that Trump and them are doing. There are people that are historians that I've seen them on TV that was like, hey y'all, this is how a democracy falls and fails. We've had too many examples, and they'll go through like all these things. So what y'all do and what you're doing is really, really important. Now, I really want to emphasize that on you to encourage you to keep going when it gets hard, when it gets tough, when people tell you, is it worth it? You know, are you wasting your time? You are not, because there's some professor there that cannot stand up for themselves, that you are standing up on their behalf. And I want to tell you, thank you for that, sweetie.
Agreed. Every single word of it. So yeah, Karen, you're right. And last voicemail.
All right, boss man, you know who it is. Listen, I was listening to 3248 feedback show. Karen was talking about Republicans play games to disenfranchise the voters. Yeah, I agree with what she said. The thing that came to mind is Republicans bank on ignorance. In my particular state, judges that ran for the state Supreme Court didn't have D's or R's by their name, so you had to know who you was voting for.
Right.
And the Republicans figured out that if they put D's and R's, political affiliations, by the names, they would pull they would pull more Republican votes, and that's exactly what happened. So I hate to say it, you hear it all the time, educate yourself, but that takes time and effort. People want to go in and vote for candidates like they order at McDonald's. Give me another number 7 with large fries and a large drink.
Right.
And that's how they taking our knees out. So if you don't have a name for your next show, your next feedback show, maybe you can think about bank on ignorance. The second issue is Tell Psycho Music, that Black Folks Business Soulful Edition. That's a straight up bop, man. That's been in my head all day. I like it so much that I keep expecting somebody to come along and lay down some bars about the show. 'Cause, I mean, that one is hitting. All right, y'all have a good day. Out.
Thank you, Blue Wave Rider.
Yes, thank you, baby. And I know that when it comes to politics, it's not simple. You know what I'm saying? It particularly locally, because everybody, quote unquote, knows the national people, particularly if you're online. But, you know, when it comes to that local shit, they've done studies and surveys to go, hey, most people don't even know shit about their local municipalities. Like, they could tell you who's in, like, these big races. But no, the smaller things matter, too. And also, most cities have some form of black caucus, like something like that. Everybody does. I don't care where you are. Them niggas is there, and they will send you flyers. You can Google them online. They are like, hey, dog, these people are the people that you need to pay attention to and vote for.
They should make that the slogan of the Black Caucus everywhere you at. Them niggas is there. They should just, you get a flyer.
And I love it.
And but yeah, I would suggest educating yourself through, if you can't have the time to go vet everybody, yourself, then you find an organization you trust that will vet the people for you.
Right.
The Historical Black Caucus does a great job here in Charlotte. And, occasionally there'll be a candidate where I'm like, I'm going to go with this other candidate. But at least they gave me like the blueprint of who's running and who I should be looking at.
Right. To pay attention to names. Right.
Ballotpedia is also a great resource. Tells you like which organizations people like get endorsed by and all this stuff. Like, there's some good resources out there. But yeah, you should never go to the poll
blindly
and just be like, I'm a freestyler, and never just pull the trigger on something you're not sure about.
Right.
It's if I was going to vote and there were 10 offices open, but I only knew information about say 6 of the offices, the other 4 I'd rather not vote than to guess. Also, as a joke, I don't know if I said it on this podcast or pregame, but I was like, whenever they take the D's and the R's off of the ballot, I feel like that's the time when Republicans be finding some white Republicans with black names.
Yeah, they do.
They be like, oh yeah, Sheila Jackson, that's gotta be a sister. Then you look on TV and Sheila Jackson is, I own the Mavericks and I gave the most money to Trump. You're like, oh,
yes.
Your name Jackson. Well, who you think the slaves got the name from? Somebody had to own them first. All right,
it started with Andrew.
We have one email from Floyd who says, Rod, I'm a proud Nubian and Blur who loves your humor, commentary, and recommendations on Foolishness Friday. The grease is hot. Wow. Great win over Miami. What a game. Blessing to you and Karen in the Charlotte community. I love the epicenter the last time I was in Charlotte. Good times. Don't go back for a while. We got to fix it. Epicenter ain't what it used to be.
It is not what it used to be, baby.
They trying though. Keep making an impact in this world, my man. Many blessings, Floyd. Thank you, Floyd. We appreciate you. And that's it. This is a long ass episode. Hopefully y'all enjoy it, and hopefully you listen to the words and don't write us to be like, you doubled down and said Hasan Piker was a piece of shit. And it's like, I never said that. Here is a clip of you not saying it that I will say you said it, because I like putting words in your mouth. By the way, big fan. Support you through Patreon, and I love you. I'm like, come on, man. Love me for real. Love me the right way. Listen to me. Okay? All right, y'all. Thank y'all for listening, and until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of your night.